Registered shooter receives 70 clays, a shooter gift, lunch, and entry into our 1 in 5 prize drawing. Register today online at artesiachamber.com. President Trump has asked the American people to come together and pray for our nation weekly until July 4th, 26. Artesia will hold its prayer gathering every Thursday at the Lucky Duck restaurant from 10 to 11 a.m. It's come and go during the hour, and everyone is welcome. Come join and pray for our nation. To have your event listed on the KSVP community calendar, email calendar@ksvpradio.com. Please let us know at least 1 week in advance.
This is KSVP and K229 AS Artesia.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Promises made, promises kept. President Trump had vowed to retaliate for a failed Iranian attack on U.S. troops in Jordan, and the American military has delivered on that pledge.
The U.S. military has said it has completed what it described as a heavy wave of strikes against Iran. Iran responded by striking a Chinese firm's building in northern Kuwait. U.S. Central Command released footage on Thursday of planes taking off from the flight deck of an aircraft carrier and aerial footage of targets on the ground hit by airstrikes. U.S. Central Command says the attacks on Iran targeted Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps. The latest U.S. barrage on Iran comes after the U.S. partnered with Saudi Arabia to strike Iranian-backed militias in neighboring Iraq, killing at least 26 people. I'm Karen Shamas.
Earthquake death toll in Japan continues to rise, now up to 25. Search and rescue crews continue their work in what's a race against the clock. That quake struck Japan's southern main island of Kyushu on Tuesday. Higher humidity, cooler temperatures, and a bit of rain offering hope for relief. Devastating wildfires in southwest France. 84,000 of the 200,000 plus evacuees now being allowed to return to their homes. Fastest growing Ebola outbreak ever has killed more than 1,500 people in eastern Congo. Official data out today shows a 50% spike in deaths in about a week. As of Tuesday, there were 3,442 cases and 1,521 deaths. The Fed's preferred inflation barometer grew more slowly last month, rising 3.7% from a year ago. Also, the U.S. economy grew 1.5% April through June. Wall Street futures ahead of the opening bell. Dow futures up 189. NASDAQ futures 446 points higher. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it. Nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
A man previously convicted of attacking author Salman Rushdie has been found guilty of additional charges.
Hadi Matar, the man who stabbed Satanic Verses author Salman Rushdie at the Chautauqua Institution, has been convicted of federal terrorism charges. A jury in Buffalo, New York, took just a few hours to find him guilty of all charges, including engaging in an act of transnational terrorism. Matar faces a potential life sentence at his sentencing in November. He's already serving a 25-year sentence for attempted murder on state charges. Prosecutors said evidence from Matar's New Jersey bedroom and his computer pointed to months of tracking and preparations for what he hoped would be an execution. I'm Jennifer King.
As wildfires burn and successive heat waves grip France and Spain, a severe drought causing record low water levels on the Danube River, affecting tourism as well as industry. The river flows through 10 countries, has receded to unprecedented lows, exposing rocks, old shipwrecks, even a World War II bomb. News and analysis, townhall.com. Ouch! This hurts.
David Cifaldi and his 2 hiking companions were crossing Montana's froze-to-death plateau July 20th when Cifaldi slipped and became impaled by his trekking pole.
I remember rolling over and this kind of realization of like, something's not right here. Realized I had this trekking pole stuck in my side.
Cifaldi, a 32-year-old wound care nurse, was concerned about the cost of a rescue helicopter, so
I was able to kind of talk to my friends a little bit and get everybody on the same page that we were going to make the decision to hike out. It took us 6.5 hours.
the pole missed any vital organs. I'm Donna Warder.
Microsoft posting strong quarterly earnings, beating expectations. Company earned $90 billion April through June. That's up 18% from a year earlier. Significant growth in its cloud computing platform. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today's KSVIP is Kirsten Moritzen. Thanks for all your wonderful work you do on the murals that help make Artesia beautiful. And this is from all the citizens of Artesia. Today, Kirsten, you're going to receive a flower from Nels Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIP, Kirsten Moritzen.
Good morning, Artesia. It's Thursday, July 30th. I'm your host, Scott Pettis. So glad to be back on the air with you. We have got a show for you today. We don't have many guests. Well, I take that back. In the 9 o'clock hour, we got Artesia coming in, and we always love hearing what they've got going on. And, of course, we'll talk to Aaron, of course, in the 9 o'clock hour. But the rest of it is me. Me and Jeff today, we're going to run through local headlines, state headlines, a little bit of national news. But, hey, I want to switch up the morning. Because I've got so much excess time, I want to share something with you guys today I've been working on. So what we're going to do is we're going to check in on the weather first. And then after the weather, I'm going to come back, do the calendars. And then we're going to jump into our Bible verse of the day.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. 102 to 105 on the afternoon high today with that big high pressure system overhead. We'll be getting a lot of sunshine. Overnight looks clear, mid-70s, and then around 105 and sunny on Friday. We've got a chance of some showers and thunderstorms rolling through on Friday night. Maybe an afternoon shower on Saturday, partly cloudy and upper 90s. We're in the upper 90s and sunny on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
All right, welcome back, Artesia. So let's take a look at the weather. Hobbs, you got a high of 101. Roswell's the winner today at 105. Carlsbad 103 and Artesia 104. Steve has a little bit different. I don't show any storms for tomorrow, but I definitely show some for Saturday. And man, Saturday and Sunday, we get a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a break. It's going to drop down in the double digits, only 97 degrees. So, hey, all right, let's jump into these calendars. Don't forget, seamless summer meals going on at Park Junior High and Zia Intermediate. Breakfast 8:30 to 10, lunch 11 to 12:30. What are you guys having? Oh, hey, today is the final day. Is that right? The 30th, July 30th. Today's the final day for those free meals. And so what are you going out with? Ham and cheese croissant for breakfast. And then for lunch, ham and cheese sandwich. Baked chips, a pickle spear, and fresh fruit. Thank you, Artesia Public Schools, for doing that all summer and taking care of those kids. All right, Artesia Senior Meal Site. What are you guys having for lunch? Oh, kielbasa with peppers and onions, red cabbage, a wheat roll, and some tapioca pudding for lunch. All right, over at the Senior Center, what do we got going on? Let's see, 8:15 your exercise video, 9 o'clock painting, 9:30 line dancing for beginners, 1 o'clock bridge, 1:30 Swedish weaving, Texas Hold'em at 2, and stained glass. Tonight, a dance, 7 to 9:30 with Tanya, and they'll be having some finger foods. Okay, I was like, there's a second calendar there. That's next month. All right. Over at the library today from 11 to 3:30. Don't forget blood drive at the library today, 11 to 3:30. And then from 12 to 1 is Literary Lounge. They'll be reading the book Scavenger by Jennifer Bertman. So head on over there today for that and go give some blood. Over at the Artesia Public Schools, there is something today. 9 to 11 is the secretary's meeting. So if you're a school secretary, you got a meeting today. All right. July birthdays on the 30th. Only 2 today. Happy birthday to Ken Simons and Becky Shipman. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful birthday today.
At Artesia Ford Sales, we've been taking care of your family's automotive needs for 60 years. Now you can get Ford service just the way you want it, without leaving your home. With complimentary Ford pickup and delivery, or our Ford mobile service van, we'll come to you, handle your routine maintenance or light repairs right in your driveway, and get you back on the road fast. Artesia Ford Sales, family owned, family trusted for 60 years. ArtesiaFordSales.com. Schedule your mobile service today.
Start your journey towards a meaningful healthcare career with the Occupational Therapy Assistant Program at ENMU Roswell. With this program, you'll gain hands-on clinical skill development, enjoy small class sizes and supportive faculty, engage in real-world fieldwork experiences, and prepare for your NBCOT certification. Call 575-624-7266 to learn more, or log on to roswell.enmu.edu. ENMU Roswell. Success starts here. The Artesia Historical Museum and Arts Center now has their very own website. Visit artesiamuseum.org to stay up to date on events and exhibits. Look through historical photos of Artesia, submit research requests, and more. For information, please call 575-748-7345. Stop by the Artesia Historical Museum and Art Center at 505 West Richardson Avenue or online at artesiamuseum.org. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 to 4. This ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
It is much easier to prevent business fraud than to clean up the damage after fraudulent activities. First American Bank is committed to introducing the newest technology and treasury management solutions. With First American Bank as your business partner, we can help you with our recommended fraud prevention products and best practices to proactively keep your business finances more secure. Talk to a banker today to find out more. First American Bank, your local first community bank since 1903. Member FDIC.
Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, home-owned and operated for over 50 years, and here for all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has the expertise to install residential, commercial, and industrial air conditioning units, including the conversion of evaporative coolers to refrigerated air systems. Cut cooling costs with high-efficiency Carrier units from Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, your authorized Carrier dealer. Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a proud sponsor of the Artesia Bulldogs and our community for over 50 years.
All right, welcome back, Artesia. Hey, like I said, I've got hours here, so that belong to me today. So I want to share something with you guys. I am, for those who don't know, our church is moving denominations. First Church Artesia here in town. We are moving to a denomination called the Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, and as part of that, I'm going through my ordination exams, and part of my what's that word? What does that look like? Is a number of written tests, writing a bunch of papers. I've got a big exam at the end of August, and then I have to go to Nashville at the end of September and set for an oral exam. And so a lot of preparation, a lot of reading, a lot of studying going on in my house right now. And I'm in the middle of writing what we call an exegetical paper. Exegesis just means working through the text as it is clearly stated, working through the original language of the text and what was actually being said and who it was being said to, and then drawing conclusions, drawing an application from the study of the text of Scripture. And that's how I preach every week. Each week, we're working through the book of Mark right now at the church. And, just section by section, as the Spirit leads, I bring out what the text is saying, who said it and who it was being said to, and how does that apply to us? Because, the Bible wasn't written to us. It was written to the original recipients. And so we've got to learn the lesson they learned and then figure out how to apply it in our lives. And I preached through Hebrews a few years ago. And part of my assignment for my exams was to write an exegetical paper over Hebrews 6, 4 through 8, where it talks about falling away from the faith. And what does that mean? And I don't want to go down a big, long theological roads with it today and all that. I just want to kind of, there was a striking lesson that I saw in it. And it actually ties back to the book of Mark. And so I wanted to kind of hit that today, and so I'm going to take this next segment, next 15 minutes or so, and I want to kind of give that picture to you. And I hope it's edifying. I hope it helps you in your walk with Christ, and I hope it encourages you as a Christian and to see the importance of walking in Christ at all times. We're going to start off in Hebrews 5. We're going to land there in Hebrews 6, but we're going to start in Hebrews 5:11. And it says this. Now, real quick, I guess let me back up. The book of Hebrews is basically a sermon. If you actually sit and read it, you'll realize it's a sermon that was given, and it was given to the Hebrew or the Jewish Christians of that time. Somewhere around, the guess is somewhere around the 50s, AD 50, and maybe even all the way up to 60. But it's a letter to these Christians about the whole thing is about don't return back to the Jewish faith. It's empty. There's nothing there for you. It returns. It's saying that if you do, you're denying Christ, and so that's the whole letter over and over again, and it works through a number of theological issues and topics, and so we start here in Hebrews 5, and the preacher of Hebrews at this point was walking down a road to talk about the priesthood of Christ. And it's funny because it seems almost like he stops and maybe a thought comes to his mind as he's digging into the topic about Christ being a priest after the order of Melchizedek. And he says this to the people. He says, about this we have much to say, and it's hard to explain, since you have become dull of hearing. For though by this time you ought to be teachers, you need someone to teach you again the basic principles of the oracles of God. You need milk, not solid food. For everyone who lives on milk is unskilled in the word of righteousness, since he is a child. But solid food is for the mature, for those who have their powers of discernment trained by constant practice to distinguish good and evil. So he's excoriating them. He's telling them, look, you guys should, at this point, you were the first recipients. These Jewish Christians were the first to hear of Christ. They were there. They were witness. Most definitely, some of these people that he's writing to were among the 3,000 at Pentecost. And they should have been the mature Christians at this point in history, and they should have been the ones teaching, and they should have been the ones, but yet they had fallen back, and they were still pondering over the basic stuff, and they were stuck, and they weren't growing, and they weren't learning, and they weren't moving forward in their knowledge of God and of Christ. And he's getting ready to go into some really deep stuff about the priesthood of Christ. And he stops himself and goes, you guys, like, it's going to be hard because you haven't grown. You're still in infancy of your Christianity. And he goes on in Hebrews 6 and he says this, therefore, because of that, let us leave the elementary doctrines of Christ and go on to maturity or perfection, not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead works and of faith towards God and of instruction about washings, the laying on of hands, the resurrection of the dead, and eternal judgment. And this we will do if God permits. So what he's saying to him here, he said, we've already laid the foundation of your faith. You already know about repentance and faith, right? The basics of following Christ, and the instruction about baptisms, it says, the laying on of hands, the resurrection of the dead, and eternal judgment. Isn't it interesting? Here we are, a couple thousand years later, almost, and we're still arguing about these basic principles. There's something to be said about that. There's something to be thought about this in our walk with Christ. We're not to remain in infancy. We're not to remain constantly, repetitively going back to this basics. The basics should be the foundation. We should have that already. We should be moving on to deeper things of Christ. We should be understanding his priesthood, his kingship, his prophet, all of those things, right? We should be understanding not only that, but how to walk in Christ, how to live our lives, right? How to understand how all those truths about Christ should make us walk in him more and make us even deeper in him. We should be understanding his parables. We should be applying them in our lives. And then he gives a reason why. So he says all this. He says, look, you're stuck in, you're like infants on milk. You can't even eat solid food yet. And he says, we have to move on from that. We can't be stuck on that all the time. We have to be getting into the deeper knowledge of Christ. And he says this is why. For it is impossible, in the case of those who have once been enlightened, who have tasted the heavenly gift and have shared of the Holy Spirit, and have tasted the goodness of the Word of God and the powers of the age to come, and then have fallen away, to restore them again to repentance, since they are crucifying once again the Son of God to their own harm and holding him up to contempt. So what is he saying here? He's saying that those who've been enlightened, right? Those who've seen, like, heard the gospel, they've been in church, right? This is really what he's talking about. If you look at it, he says those who have been enlightened, who have gained knowledge, right? Have tasted the heavenly gift. They've seen the wonders of the church in Christ, or they've seen Christ in the church. I mean, they've seen what the Holy Spirit is doing in people. They've maybe even shared it in a little bit. They've tasted the goodness of the Word of God. This is amazing. But then they totally reject. They have fallen away. They reject it. They step out of it. So who's he talking about? He's not talking about the reprobate. He's not talking about the one out on the street who didn't ever come into church, who's never heard God's word, who's never walked in it and been part of the Christian community. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about those who've seen all that and heard all that and then still fully reject it. One of the things to understand here, he's not talking about Christians who fall. He's not talking about true believers who fall back into sin. He's talking about fallen away. It's a completeness. It's those who've lived in in Christ's body and then completely stepped away and rejected it, right? And he says it's impossible to restore them unto repentance. Now we have to understand, is he talking about him or is he talking about us? Remember, the preacher's preaching to these people. The preacher, which we believe to be Paul here, is talking about us. Like, if we allow these people that are in here, that hear the word and all of this stuff, and they reject it, and why would they reject it? It seems from this passage why the reason they're falling away from it is because these people, this church, these people are just stuck on the milk constantly. That's it. There's nothing more to it. It's not directing their lives. They haven't moved on to the meat of the Christian life and the Christian walk. They haven't stepped into the deeper things of God and seen about how it actually changes the world around them to walk in Christ. And it's causing some to reject and to walk away. And in this case, to return back to Judaism. That's why they say they're once again crucifying the Son of God, is because they're saying, well, you guys don't seem to really have this figured out whatsoever. So we're going to go back to the Jews, to Judaism, who were the ones who crucified God, the Son of God. That's why he says that there. He says they once again have held him up to contempt. But here's the actual lesson I was trying to get to, of course, right? Typical preacher, right? I wait till the very end to finally get to the point. Because he paints a picture here, a similitude, a metaphor, if you will. And he says, for the land that has drunk the rain that often falls on it and produces a crop useful to those for whose sake it is cultivated, receives a blessing from God. But if it bears thorns and thistles, it is worthless and near to be cursed, and its end is to be buried. Or not buried, burned. I apologize. It takes us back to Mark 4. And in Mark 4, I won't read the whole thing for you. Jesus gives a parable. He gives the parable about the sower. The one who, the sower goes along and he's sowing seed, and some of it falls on rocky soil, or some of the seeds taken away by birds, devoured. Some of the seed falls on rocky soil, sprouts a little bit, but then when the sun comes out, it burns up. Other seeds fall among the thorns and the thistles, and it grows up and it chokes it out, and it yields no grain. And other seed falls onto good soil. It builds deep roots. It produces grain. It produces fruit, 30-fold and 60-fold and 100-fold. And when Jesus explains this, he tells them, he says, here's the understanding of the sower. Some seed is taken away by the birds, taken away by the devil. It doesn't sprout at all. Some sprouts up for just a moment, and some grows up in thorns, and it's choked out because they can't handle it, right? When hard times come, when persecution comes, all of those things, it dies out and it doesn't produce fruit, right? So this is what he's talking about here in Hebrews 6. God pours the rain on the righteous and the unrighteous alike. And he pours it out onto the whole world. All of his blessings come, and we see his common grace among all men. But unless it produces fruit, unless it grows, unless it's cultivated, it's watered regularly, unless it's producing what it was intended to produce, it'll be removed. It'll be taken away, and it will be burned. It'll be cut up with the thorns and thistles and burned away. That's the only way to deal with it in God's economy. And here's the application. I'll get to the application and close this out in a few minutes. Each of us that profess Christ, right? God's salvation is eternal. For those who truly have faith, have placed their faith in Christ, He will cause them to persevere to the end. He will carry you through. He will sanctify you. He will grow you. But those who just put on the trappings of Christianity, and those who spend maybe their life in church, but then turn around and walk away and deny Christ. That's what the true falling away means. Denying that Jesus is the Christ. Because it says, by the Holy Spirit only can you actually profess that Jesus is the Christ. Those are the ones we worry about. I worry constantly about the ones that Jesus says of, didn't I do many miracles in your name and all that, right? He goes, depart from me, for I never knew you. Those are the ones I worry so deeply about. And I think it's incumbent upon us as Christians, as churches, as a community of believers, to make sure that we're not just paying lip service to the gospel, not just a simple believe and walk away type ideal. No, we need to be growing in Christ. We need to be understanding it. We need to be applying it in our lives into every corner of everything we do. Christ and his law and his goodness and his gospel should permeate into everything we are and we do. For if we don't, there will be those who will imitate us, who will say, yeah, I'm a Christian, but never truly know Christ. Because all they've been given is a basic understanding of the foundation, and you never help them grow past that. The whole book of Hebrews is to this church as a whole, to this group of Christians as a whole, and he's warning throughout the entire book. He says, "Let us, let us, let us, let us." And in that, what he's telling them this is a collective effort. To walk in Christ is not an individualistic thing. This is a collective effort. And your unwillingness to grow, your unwillingness to study, your unwillingness will be the cause of others, the means for others to fall away from this professed faith. We have to function as a totality, a willingness to stand up together, and not just pay lip service to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. It's a heavy weight, but I think it's one that if we take seriously together, and we bring everyone together and stop hiding in our little corners from one another, we can and will grow to maturity. We'll step away from those basic principles and not step away from them as in leave them, but go, hey, our foundation's built. Let us grow together. Let us become more knowledgeable together. Let us strengthen one another, right? We talk about the one another's in Scripture all the time. This is definitely one of them, that we need to be growing in Christ with one another so that each might be saved. And I think my final note on this is most evident This is absolutely most evident in the loss of Christian children. They are the ones who grow, the 70%, ladies and gentlemen, 70%, since the early 1900s, 70% of children brought up in the church have stepped away from the faith, and only 35% of that 70 ever return. That's who this passage is talking about. If we, as parents and educators and leaders in the community, don't go to the deeper things of Christ and live them out and show generation after generation the beauty of what it means to live in Christ, they will be the ones that step away. They will be the ones that fall away and deny the Christ. And what a horrible, horrible thing that is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. We're going to go ahead and go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll look at current events around the town.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. War between the U.S. and Iran heating up again, with both sides firing missile barrages overnight. An Iranian strike hit a Chinese firm's building in Kuwait, killing one worker. Jordan intercepted Iranian missiles for the second straight day, and the U.S. military hit dozens of Iranian targets, including military command centers. At least 8 people are dead, children among them, in the latest round of Russian drone and missile attacks on Ukraine. The Ukrainians say the barrage targeted multiple regions. Ukraine continues hitting targets in Russia, including facilities of a major online retailer. Republican Senator, Kentucky's Rand Paul, refusing to let former NIH Director Anthony Fauci off the hook, refusing to answer any questions from the Senate Homeland Security Committee investigating the origins of COVID-19. Fauci may be held in contempt of Congress. More details, srnnews.com.
Here's a song for Lowell's Pharmacy, and when it's over, I'll explain why we're called the Family Pharmacy.
You and your family getting all the things you need, where personal service is always guaranteed. Prescriptions filled faster with dependability. That is why we're called the Family Pharmacy.
At Lowell's Pharmacy, we are called the Family Pharmacy. Let me spell it out for you. The F stands for fair prices and everything. The A is for accurate prescription service. M for the many professional services we provide. The I is for immediate service. L for the luxury of getting everything you need in just one place. And the Y is for you.
And that is why we're called the Family Pharmacy.
Lowell's Pharmacy, 612 North 13th, across from the hospital in the Artesia Professional Building. Lowell's Pharmacy.
This past Tuesday, the Federal Communication Commission banned the import and sale in America of all foreign-made humanoid and quadruped robots. The reason sounds very much like a science fiction novel. I'm Kim Commando for WebRoot. WebRoot Essentials antivirus protects your devices without slowing you down. Right now, get 62% off at webroot.com/Kim. 22 years ago this month, the sci-fi film I, Robot was showing in theaters across America. Millions of humanoid robots, many working in private homes, receive a signal to rebel and hold the human race hostage. But that was fiction. So what's our government concerned about? Well, the FCC believes that foreign-made humanoid robots are a national security threat. And when I say foreign-made, it's China. The worry is that in the event of hostilities between us and China, with a flick of a switch, Chinese-made robots could become a severe problem. So, yes, our government is correct. And besides, we're manufacturing our own robots right now. Join a million folks and get my free newsletter at getkim.com. I've tried a lot of antivirus software over the years, and when something better comes along, I switch. That's why I've moved to WebRoot Essentials. WebRoot Essentials is a cloud-based AI-powered antivirus app that was designed to evolve with today's threats. It's fast, lightweight protection that works across all my devices without slowing me down. If you need another reason to switch, get this. WebRoot Essentials recently ranked #1 in independent Passmark performance studies against 9 other brands, like Norton, McAfee, and even Microsoft Defender. The study found that WebRoot Essentials scans 6 times faster, uses far less memory, and takes up 33% less space on your computer. I've seen the difference WebRoot has made for my devices, and now you can too. My listeners get 62% off WebRoot Essentials at webroot.com/Kim. Get the #1 ranked antivirus protection for just $19 a year right now at webroot.com/Kim. Webroot.com/Kim. Go now while you're thinking about it. webroot.com/Kim.
Turpin & Son Mortuary of Artesia presents a listing of today's obituaries. Today we have one reminder. Sandra Bell Bolden passed away on the 14th of July following a courageous battle with cancer. A memorial service to honor and celebrate Sandra's life will be held at Turpin & Son Mortuary on Saturday, August 1st at 10 a.m. This listing has been presented as a service by Turpin & Son Mortuary of Artesia. We make it personal.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. 102 to 105 on the afternoon high today. With that big high pressure system overhead, we'll be getting a lot of sunshine. Overnight looks clear, mid-70s, and then around 105 and sunny on Friday. We've got a chance of some showers and thunderstorms rolling through on Friday night. Maybe an afternoon shower on Saturday, partly cloudy and upper 90s. We're in the upper 90s and sunny on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
All right, welcome back, Artesia. Hey, let's jump into some of our flyers, see what's happening around our community and how we can get involved today, July 30th, from 11 to 3:30 p.m., Battle of the Badges Blood Drive. So what is that, you might ask? All right, head down to the Artesia Public Library today, donate blood, and then cast your vote for Team Police or Team Fire. It's the cops versus the firemen today. So go down there. Every donation that you give helps save lives, and your donation counts as a vote for your chosen team. So head down there and make a difference, ladies and gentlemen. All right. What else is happening? July 30th and 31st. That's today and tomorrow. And I've already seen it. They've already got it started. There's already some work been done. It's really cool. They're extending the mural to the other side of Eagle Draw over there on at 13th and was it J.J. Clark, I believe? Yeah. So head on over there. You can be part of it. So Artesia Clean and Beautiful is inviting local businesses and organizations to help complete the final section of the Eagle Draw community mural. It's paint by number. You can't even mess it up. Here's some paint. Here's a brush. Paint that little area right there, right? It's pre-traced. Everything's provided. So go on out there and help out. Businesses are encouraged to bring a company tent, display a banner or flag, and wear company apparel while helping create the lasting impact on our community. For more information, you can call 575-513-0143. Hey, it's Thursday, so it's time to gather for prayer. So today, 10 a.m., head on over to Lucky Duck Grill. This is the last day it'll be held at Lucky Duck because they will be shutting down. So head on over there, support them today. Go over there and pray with everyone and grab some lunch today. Beginning next week, the prayer meetings will continue. These prayer meetings are going to continue all the way through Election Day, and man, we need them. This election season has to be different. We've got to get everyone out to vote, and prayers are a great help in doing that. And so, but the meeting will now be held at the Republican headquarters located at 812 West Main Street. You might know that as the old Smokes to Go building, but it's now the Republican headquarters. So you can, starting next week, you can join them for prayer over there. Also today, at Artesia Artesia Arts Council, 310 West Main, also known as the Ocotillo. Join the Artesia Arts Council for the Leather and Metal Artist Reception featuring area artist Samantha Odom. You'll get a chance to meet the artist, enjoy some light refreshments, and explore her exhibition. If you can't make it today, though, for the next, that display will be in place through August 28th during regular business hours. All right. Movie today up in Carlsbad at the Carlsbad Cavern Theater. 2 o'clock today, El Dorado will be playing. It's $5 entry for kids. All right. And let's see. Tomorrow, July 31st, over at the Ocotillo, there will be an Art of Creative Clay workshop. So join guest instructor Shama Bootson for a fun hands-on creative clay workshop hosted by the Arts Council. Participants will create a unique decorative wall hanging by combining a painted background with sculpted clay details. For more information, call 575-746-4212. Next week, this event happens next week, but registration is due by tomorrow, July 31st, to reserve your spot. But next week is the Bulldog Beginnings Breakfast at the Artesia Public Schools Administration Building. This is to welcome the newest members of the Bulldog family at Bulldog Breakfast. It's hosted by the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. It's an annual event that introduces new APS teachers and staff to our community while helping them feel at home from day one. It's only $40 per person. That includes breakfast and opportunity to host a new APS staff member at your table. Businesses are also encouraged to donate welcome bags or door prizes to help make our newest educators feel right at home. All you gotta do is call the Chamber at 575-746-2744 to register. Let's see. Donations are still being accepted for the 7th Annual School Supply Drive presented by the Written in Red Foundation. And you can drop those off at First American Bank in Artesia all the way through till tomorrow. And like I said, I think I said earlier, they also have a donation up at the Dodge House. Okay. Let's see. Artesia Public Library update summer reading program. It has officially come to a close, and they want to thank all their partners, sponsors, volunteers, and participants who helped make this summer a success. If you participated in that, make sure you turn in your summer reading program logs and collect your prizes by tomorrow, Friday, July 31st. All right, here we go. The CARC Incorporated in Carlsbad is hosting a Connecting with CARC Meet CEO Tom Hollis. They're inviting people to come out and to connect with residents, family, staff, and community partners while learning more about CARC and its future. The event will be held Thursday, August 6th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the CARC Dining Hall, 902 West Cherry Lane. But RSVPs are due by tomorrow, so if you'd like to be part of that, you need to call 575-361-3276. Hey, this weekend, August 1st, the Carlsbad Community Lions Club is hosting their 4-person golf scramble, only $125 per person. That includes breakfast, mulligans, raffles, and lunch. You can register at the RCC Pro Shop at 575-885-4253. This Saturday, the Cavern Theater will be showing The Endless Summer. Saturday, August 1st at 2 p.m. and again at 6 p.m. Adults are $8. Children and seniors are only $5. And that's at 210 North Canyon Street in Carlsbad. All right, let's see. The Assistance League of Carlsbad is hosting Operation School Bell. This provides brand new clothes and shoes for children in the community. And they're asking for volunteers. So if you could volunteer for that, you can reach out to them. You can call or text 575-200-9768. The Artesia First Baptist Church Seek First Flag football program is about to come to an end. They got a few more games. They got one on the 3rd and one on the 10th. And so K through 2nd games are held from 6 to 7, and 3rd through 5th are held from 7 to 8. Let's see. Yeah, we're moving into next week. I want to jump to this one over here. This one's important to me. Reserve seat season football ticket sales will begin Monday, August 3rd, and they'll continue through Friday, August 14th. Your tickets may be purchased at the Bulldog Pit from 8 a.m. to noon, Monday through Friday. They ask that you enter the west doors, and only reserve seat holders from the previous year will be allowed to purchase the same reserve seats for the first 2 weeks of sales. So starting next Monday, for 2 weeks, those of you who hold reserve seats from last year, you can go back and buy those tickets again. Then on August 17th, Monday, August 17th, whatever's not sold, all remaining reserve seat tickets will go on sale to the general public for a first come, first served basis. And there will be 4 home games this year. And so let's see what prices are. Lower section seats are $54. Upper deck chair back, the upper deck reserve section is $60 per seat. And single reserve seat ticket sales, if available, will be conducted on Friday of each home game, beginning on Friday, August 21st. Lower section seats will be $9. Upper seats will be $10. So if those tickets don't sell when you come to the game, you can check and see if there's any available, and you can buy tickets for those seats. Reminder, top portion of reserve seat ticket sheet will admit season ticket owner to JV football games free of charge. And there's something new this year. Starting this year, all tickets will be digital through GoFan. All information for online ticket sales can be found on the Artesia Bulldog website. Okay, so no more buying tickets at the gate, I guess. You're going to be buying all of our tickets through GoFan. So the following options will be available to purchase tickets with cash or check. For football games, we'll have a 4-game ticket bundle. So you can still buy some with cash or check. You don't. So this is I'm first time I'm reading it, folks. I probably should have read it before I got on the air. But for football games, you'll have you have the chance to buy 4-game ticket bundle for $20. These will only be available from August 3rd through August 21st during reserved seat ticket sales. Single game tickets, $5 day of game. For all athletic games, we'll offer passes. Adults will be $200. Students and seniors, $120. So you can go and you can buy next month. You can go up to the pit. It sounds and you can for $200. That'll get you tickets for every single athletic game this year. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, go into that digital through GoFan this year, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Artesia High School back to school schedule pickup 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. Enter through south doors of the commons area, be complete and bring all yellow papers up. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, bring all yellow papers and back to school packet when you come for pickup. So if you're in high school, Tuesday, August 4th, sophomores, you need to be up there to pick up your schedule. Wednesday, August 5th for juniors, and Thursday, August 6th for seniors. Okay, those are your, get your schedules picked up next week. All right, let's see. National Night Out 2026, Tuesday, August 4th at the Artesia Aquatic Center. Free food and drinks, raffles and giveaways, and free admission to the Aquatic Center. It's all about building a safer, stronger community together. Bring the family, connect with your community, and meet your local first responders. Best of all, it's free. All right, what else is going on? Traditions Workshop Supply Drive. Help us to provide essential supplies to help students make homecoming mums and spirit wear. Orange and black and white glitter ribbons, all shapes and sizes, hot glue sticks, safety pins, sports-themed mum accessories, stickers and glitter, paint and paint brushes at the Artesia Intermediate School. So this is Tuesday the 4th through Monday the 10th of August. So you can go and you can bring and donate supplies for kids to make mums, okay? Students who bring in supplies will receive a drawstring backpack. All right. let's see if I got anything else. I got to fill at least another minute and a half here. So, workforce stronger. Build your workforce, reduce your cost. So this is for all employers. If you employ people, this is for you. Wednesday, August 5th. They'll be holding 2 sessions, one from 9 to 11 and the other one from 1 to 3. And it'll be at the Pecos River Village Conference Center at 711 Muscatel. Join our employer engagement seminar to learn how the state program for up to 400 hours of compensated wages can help you recruit, train, and retain your workforce at no cost to eligible employers. That's pretty interesting. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see. Bulldog Football Drills and Skills Camp 2026 will be hosted Friday, August 7th, 7 to 8:30 p.m. at the Bulldog Bowl. This is for kindergarten through 6th grade. Registration will happen from 6:30 to 7. Cost is only $25, and a shirt will be included. So if you've got a kindergarten through 6th grader who wants to go to the Drills and Skills Camp, head on over to the Bulldog Bowl on Friday, August 7th, and get them in there. Well, I think that's about it. We're going to cover that up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging in with me for that first hour. Next hour, we'll be coming back. I'll get Jeff in here. We'll hang out. We're going to run through some headlines and see what all is happening around the city, state, and nation, and try to make it interesting. You know, I mean, we don't want to be boring everybody. It's tough. When you come in, you see nothing on the schedule. Like, I didn't prepare a whole lot to speak about, so I'm going to have to wing it here. So we'll see how the next hour goes, ladies and gentlemen. Come back and join us then, and have a great morning.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The Federal Reserve left its key interest rate unchanged Wednesday despite persistently high inflation and a spike in energy prices caused by the Iran war. The benchmark rate was kept at around 3.6%. A Wisconsin appeals court on Wednesday restored a 2011 law that abolished collective bargaining rights and a setback for unions and public workers. Unions are expected to appeal, sending the case to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. DoorDash has launched its in-house drone delivery program, DoorDash Air. The move marks the food delivery company's push as it looks to reduce reliance on human couriers and expand its logistics network. Notre Dame and Ohio State have reached lucrative jersey patch sponsorship deals, totaling about $30 million. Ohio State announced a sponsorship deal with J.P. Morgan Chase. Notre Dame announced a jersey patch deal with financial services company SoFi Technologies. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
There's a new reason to smile at Smile Expressions. Please help us welcome Dr. Danielle Salcido to our team. A bilingual dentist and proud Lovington native, Dr. Salcido is dedicated to providing exceptional dental care for patients of all ages. From preventative care to restoring beautiful smiles, she believes every patient deserves compassionate, personalized treatment. Whether you speak English or Spanish, Dr. Salcido is here to help you smile with confidence. Call Smile Expressions today to schedule your appointment and welcome Dr. Danielle Salcido to our family. To be a champion, each team member must do their part to help the team win. That is true in business too. Ed Safety and Services LLC want to do their part to help your business win. They specialize in several field services: sandblasting, coating steamers, pressure washing, repairs, and cleanouts. Ed Safety also offers drug and alcohol screening and on-site services and safety trainings to make you better. Ed Safety and Services LLC, 575-736-1047. Proud supporter of the Artesia Bulldog.
Welcome to Answers with Ken Ham. The account of origins presented in the Genesis is a simple but factual presentation of actual events and provides reliable basis for man's worldview and a framework for scientific investigation into the question of the origin and history of life. Answers with Ken Ham is brought to you by Harvest Fellowship at 2307 West Main in Artesia. Call Pastor Ronnie Williams at 746-6195. Now, today's Answers with Ken Ham.
Did we domesticate ourselves? This is Ken Ham, CEO of the faith-building apologetics ministry Answers in Genesis. The story of evolution usually goes like this.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia.
Welcome back, Artesia. Hey, sorry about that. I messed up. Gina's in here. He's wagging his finger at me, and he's telling me how horrible of a radio host I am because I forgot to check to make sure that was 4 minutes worth of commercials. So we're going to close it out right now. This is KSVP, and we'll be back in the next hour. One last bit of encouragement, Artesia. Stick with us, listen to us. We've got a lot to say. We're in there doing some investigative reporting. We'll be back right after this.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. military has completed what's described as a heavy wave of strikes on Iran. Retaliation for Iran's thwarted missile attack on American forces in the Mideast earlier in the week.
U.S. Central Command said dozens of Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps targets had been hit early on Thursday. Iranian media reported that the islands of Qeshm and Abadan were among the areas hit. Both are centers of the oil industry. Iran had earlier confirmed that it had targeted U.S. assets in Jordan as well as ships in the Strait of Hormuz on Wednesday. The latest flare-up in exchanges began earlier this week, though negotiations to secure a longer-term truce are said to be continuing.
The BBC's Tom Bailey. The Kuwaiti military reports an Iranian strike has hit a Chinese firm's building in northern Kuwait. A worker was killed, the building heavily damaged. Happened early this morning, hours after Jordan's air defenses shot down 5 Iranian missiles. Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General is on hold. Lawmakers scrapping a planned committee vote. A couple of Republicans, Senators Cornyn and Tillis, still not on board. A Senate investigation into the origins of COVID-19 gets no cooperation from Dr. Anthony Fauci, repeatedly refusing to answer even the most mundane, innocuous queries.
Do you still refuse to answer the questions? On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Senator Rand Paul says there will be a vote on holding Fauci in contempt of Congress. That vote expected next week. The U.S. economy expanded at a 1.5% pace April through June, and consumer spending rose. Also on the rise this morning, stocks on Wall Street. The Dow's up 371 points. The Nasdaq 630 points higher, and the S&P is better by 97 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you tired of feeling lousy? Maybe you had a scare at your last checkup or just walking hurts? When enough is enough, call PhD Weight Loss. When I had enough 4 years and 53 pounds ago, I knew I couldn't do it alone. I'm Mike Gallagher for PhD Weight Loss. Best phone call I ever made. They were right with me. They still are today. Right now, mention Mike. You'll get 2 free weeks added to the program, and they'll pay for the cost of your food. $1,500 value. Call 864-644-1900. 864-644-1900 or visit myphdweightloss.com.
So Karen and Michael Collins were in their 20s. They were newly married, and Michael found out he had cancer, stage 4. They're members of Medishare, and Medishare came through for them, not just financially.
But they called and they said, hey, we know you're going through treatment. We just wanted to call and pray for you. And it rocked my world.
Medishare was a blessing to us because they just made it so easy.
Call now, and you'll see why so many Christians have made the switch to Medishare. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE.
French authorities have allowed 84,000 evacuees from a massive wildfire in southwest France to return home. The announcement marks a positive turn in the battle against the blaze, which has burned an area 4 times the size of Paris. Over 220,000 people have been forced to flee. Higher humidity and cooler temperatures raising hopes for relief. Rain is in the forecast in the region, but not enough to fully extinguish the flames. Firefighters do remain fully mobilized. Fire is part of a series of blazes affecting southern Europe, including Spain, Greece, and Turkey. That powerful earthquake that hit southwestern Japan earlier this week is now blamed for at least 25 deaths. Magnitude 7.1 quake on Tuesday triggered an explosion at a mall, toppled a factory's chimney, and flattened homes in Japan's southern main island of Kyushu. Time is running out to find survivors. News and analysis at townhall.com. Another example of artificial intelligence working its way into every corner of our lives.
A school in Raleigh, North Carolina wants to provide literacy of a new kind, AI literacy. Shaw's Divinity School plans to offer a new degree track, a Doctor of Education in Artificial Intelligence and Moral Agency. When it admits the first student in January, it will become the first theological school to offer a degree in AI on either the master's or doctoral level. Jason Walker reporting.
And the AI boom is sending Samsung's bottom line sharply higher. South Korean tech giant Samsung Electronics checks in with a record operating profit of $62 billion for the April-June quarter. That report comes a day after crosstown rival SK Hynix reported record earnings. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Today's KSVIP is Kirsten Moritzen. Thanks for all your wonderful work you do on the murals that help make Artesia beautiful. And this is from all the citizens of Artesia. Today, Kirsten, you're going to receive a flower from Nell's Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIP, Kirsten Moritzen.
Welcome back, Artesia. It's Thursday, July 30th, 8 o'clock hour. I'm your host, Scott Pettis. Hey, this hour belongs to me. So Jeff and I are going to run through some local topics, maybe some state issues that are going on. We're just going to talk around the news and see what in the world is happening. But before we do that, let's hear the weather and some commercials.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. 102 to 105 on the afternoon high today. With that big high pressure system overhead, we'll be getting a lot of sunshine. Overnight looks clear, mid-70s, and then around 105 and sunny on Friday. We've got a chance of some showers and thunderstorms rolling through on Friday night. Maybe an afternoon shower on Saturday, partly cloudy and upper 90s. We're in the upper 90s and sunny on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Need extra storage? At Champion Storage in Artesia, we built a brand new, fully secure facility with fencing, 24/7 digital video surveillance, and personalized gate codes for your peace of mind. You never have to wait in line. Pick your unit. Choose from 5x10 all the way up to 10x30. Complete the rental and get your gate code online in just minutes. That's right, all from your phone or computer. Secure, household or business storage. Fast, simple, and safe. Visit championstorage.com and get started today.
Your business runs year-round. So does ours. Block Advisors at H&R Block provides small business expertise beyond just taxes. From post-tax filing support to payroll and bookkeeping, we are always in your corner through tax day and every day, all year long. Because your passion never takes a day off. Let's talk business. Schedule an appointment today at blockadvisors.com/smallbiz or 502 West Texas Avenue, Suite A, Artesia.
Wouldn't you love more quality family time? But everyone has their noses in their phones and tablets. With PVT Experience IQ, you can enjoy screen-free family time. Pause all internet-connected devices to enjoy a board game or talk around the dinner table. With Experience IQ in the PVT Connect IQ app from PVT in Southeast New Mexico, you can enjoy more family time. Visit the PVT website at pvt.com to find out if you can get PVT Internet.
Hey, Roswell, time is running out to cash in on some of the biggest savings of the season. The loan and lease termination sales event is happening right now at Roswell Ford. Drive away with a truckload of savings in a brand new Ford F-Series pickup with financing as low as 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to get you out of your trade, even if you owe up to $10,000 more than it's worth. Have less than perfect credit? Roswell Ford works with a network of aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Get on board at Roswell Ford during our loan and lease termination event and get huge savings on all new F-Series trucks, America's top-selling pickup in each of the past 49 years. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand finance on F-150 trucks. Excludes Raptor. Interest accrues from date of sale. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
All right, welcome back, Artesia. Hey, Jeff's going to come in and join us, and we're going to jump into some topics. The first of which, we're going to start local here. Tuesday night, I mentioned this on the show Tuesday, that there was going to be a public hearing at the city council, and the topic was a permit, I guess. It's not really a permit. The city doesn't really issue a permit, but they had to vote on whether to allow a new cannabis shop to open.
Business license? Or
Maybe a business license. I wasn't exactly sure what the thing they were voting on other than to allow it. A new cannabis shop on First Street. I don't really landmarks. It's just right past Eagle Draw, headed north. It's an old white building. I'm not sure what it used to be. Just past the ABC child health thing, and it's sitting there. Right next to it's what used to be an old lumber yard. I don't know if you remember where that's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Down the road.
Yeah. So
not that far, but down the road.
Yeah, over yonder. Turn left there at the old airplane thing. So.
Yeah, where the old airplane was. If you go 50 feet past that, you'll see a yellow ribbon.
How locals give directions.
If you've gone past Red Barn, you've gone too far.
Yeah, if you've gone past Sun Country.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't change the name, because we knew if we called it anything other than Sun Country, everybody would just call it, well, Sun Country. It used to be Sun Country.
Like, Sun Country.
We'll just leave it Sun Country.
Where Sun Country used to be,
Yeah, exactly. So, so I attended the meeting. I feel very adamantly about this. I'll give you the results, then I'll give you my opinions on the other side. So as I came in, I was late, of course, running late. I walk in about 5 minutes after the hour, and somebody was speaking, and I could tell they were speaking about that thing. The floor had been opened up to public comment, and I was like, well, that was awful quick. But I guess at the beginning of the meetings, they allow just a time for anybody from the public to make any statement, right? And so people brought up a few other topics during that time. But then former Mayor Ray Miller walks up, and Ray goes, because Ray was the mayor when the first cannabis shop came to town.
Yeah.
And Ray came up and made a very clear and poignant statement. He goes, I understand you guys are going to discuss this tonight. I know this is going to be an issue. He goes, but I'm going to tell you, there's nothing you can do about it unless you're willing to have a lawsuit. And I was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, I was here to, inspire a no vote, and so I jumped into the regulations, pulled up the Cannabis Act or whatever it's called. And he's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
No municipality has the authority to deny a cannabis store. They do have a little bit of leeway to regulate it, and I left that open. There it is. This is what it says. A local jurisdiction may adopt time, place, and manner rules that do not conflict with the Cannabis Regulation Act, including rules that reasonably limit density of license and operating times consistent with neighborhood uses. Okay. And it goes on in there, but really that's the limit of what we can do. And I think in another area it says, reasonable rules of time, places, and stuff like that. So I started digging. Me and Grok went to work, man.
Yeah.
I was digging, and I was trying to look at legalities. I'm not a lawyer. I have to rely on the internet to tell me these things.
But if you are a lawyer, do not rely on Grok.
Don't. Yeah. Us Grok lawyers can do that. If I'm paying you, I would rather the law. Yeah, exactly.
Or at least make sure the judge doesn't know you're doing that.
Yeah. So I was really digging to see what is it that we can do to limit. And you can't just set, well, we're only going to allow one in the town. That wouldn't be considered reasonable. We can't change the distances. So they went out, the mayor and some other people went out, and they measured the location of the building, and it's from building to building. It can't be within 300 feet of a school, medical centers, all this and that. And I was like, well, surely. Churches.
Okay, because I was kind of wondering the same as like a liquor license.
Yeah, and Artesia did create, when they created their zoning laws over the cannabis stuff, like all here in downtown is considered a historical district, so they can keep it out of the downtown area. Can't open up here, up there, and some other stuff. So like, because I thought, well, the ABC Children's thing, but I drove over there, like, no, it's definitely more than 300 feet.
Yeah,
it's definitely more than 300 feet from Hermosa School. And stuff like that. It just, they went and they measured.
Which won't even be a school.
Which won't be a school after next year. Yeah. So, anyhow, so this building meets all of the requirements. The applicant met all of the requirements they needed. They actually hired a consultant to come in and do it. The consultant spoke. She said she's done these all over the state, and this is the most rigorous, restrictive city that she's come across yet. And so So basically it came down to, everybody got it. And then, after the public comments, they did some opening stuff, and then they actually went into the actual issue, and they opened it up for public comment. And a number of us went up there. The only one speaking for that I remember were the owner, the guy who's going to open it, his consultant, and one other gentleman who had attempted to open one here in Artesia. And they were speaking for. Everybody else was speaking against. It was very emotional, And so people are not happy about it. Some of the testimonies I heard there the other day, is like, look, we don't need more of this in Artesia.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you can't, like, there was a couple there that has coached their kids in sports, and like, I'm out there coaching my kids in soccer and all of this, and there's people openly smoking, like all we can smell is weed.
Yeah.
And like, this is ridiculous, like we had to tell the kids it's a skunk, I mean, it's, so like, what's that smell? Here's the thing. I got up and I made my statement. And I based it on this, scripturally. I went to scripture and I said, the Apostle Paul tells us all things are legal, but not all things are beneficial, and this is definitely one of them. It may be legal, and we can't. First off, we have to look and go. Legality does not equal morality,
right?
A lot of people think, well, it's legal, so it's moral now. No, it's not. It's not, and I'll get into that. We can get into that in a little bit, but I pointed out to them very clearly. I said, look, this doesn't make our town any better.
Right.
It's not going to bring in more business. It's not going to bring, all it does is dull the senses of our people. I would prefer we not have one whatsoever.
Right.
I hate that the state has the mandate and control of our city that tells us that, we can't keep this business out upon principle. They restrict us from acting upon what our principles are as a city. I think overwhelmingly as a city, the people, if you had a vote, would say no to all of it. No, don't have it here. So I pointed out, I said, something that may have been missed in the original formation of the city's regulations on this is the statement about reasonably limit the density of licenses.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? Well, I dug around the rest of the state, and it's by limiting how close they can be to one another.
Oh.
And so like Albuquerque, they got to be more than 600 feet apart from property to property. Right. I think the largest distance was 1,320 feet. And, but there's no limit to what that number can be.
Right.
So if we go 17,000 feet apart, that's about 3 miles.
Yeah.
That encompasses the rest of the town.
Right.
So I encouraged them openly in the meeting. I encouraged them to go back and review their thing and create a distance between them and say, look, they can't be this close to one another. Now that's not going to stop the new one. The new one's here. It's going to come. There's no way to stop it. But they can prevent an oversaturation of that. And even my daughter, she's like, you go down to Ruidoso downtown. There's like 4 or 5 of them, like one right after, like they're just everywhere.
Carlsbad and Roswell.
Although
neither of those are as bad as all the border cities.
Yeah.
There's more in Hobbs and Lovington.
Yeah.
Of course, a ton down by El Paso.
Yeah.
And one of the big things for me, since I have a medical card, and I was a little disappointed when it went recreational, partly because it I guess it goes back to I'd use this for medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be considered a pothead, like a college, whatever. Yeah. But I don't like the recreational side of just smoking around everywhere. And I know one of the things that cities have used is that now that it is recreational, it adds the GRT. Because tell
me about that. I don't know what that is.
Gross receipts tax.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Recreational. Like my medical.
I thought you were talking about a chemical. It's like, what? Yeah, the gross receipts. Yeah, you have to pay tax on it.
Whereas medical, you don't.
Oh.
Like,
so if you still have a medical card, you still don't have to pay gross receipts tax?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because it's medical, and that is built in through the Department of Health. So the city does not get any tax money from me when I go purchase anything.
Mm-hmm.
Only the state takes the taxes, and that's through the DOH. I know that was a big reason of someone had said that's why so many of them pop up, is because of the GRT.
Yeah.
And that's probably really good in those bordering counties, getting people from across the state coming over and buying them. They're getting a lot of tax money from that. That doesn't make it any better.
And I've got to do some deeper research, and I still haven't figured out how to exactly figure this out. My understanding is, as it currently stands on that GRT issue, is a lot of the online comments. Someone made a post on one of the local pages on Facebook, and people just the people who are pro pot just started lambasting them, and they're like, well, but it brings a ton of tax dollars to the town. If my understanding is correct, it does not.
Yeah.
The state is getting tax money from it, but it is not. There is no tax money from that flowing to the city of Artesia, if that's my understanding. If I'm correct on that. If someone out there's listening, they can correct me on that. But it's supposedly not, and that's and that's, I think that may be why the state mandated that we can't stop him.
Oh.
Because if it's not of financial benefit to our town, why would we want it?
Right.
And but if the state mandates it, they get their dollars.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you brought up a point, medical. So let's jump into the moral issue of it, I guess, from my perspective. So does the Bible talk about marijuana? No, it doesn't. But what it does talk about is drunkenness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, most people, that's alcohol. That's alcohol. Yes, but it's also talking about a state of mind. Biblically, it's talking about an impaired state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a pot expert. I know people that have real bad insomnia, that take a gummy, like a 0.5 milligram gummy before bed, and they sleep better than they've ever slept. Okay. Medicine's medicine. God gave us good things to be used for good uses. But on the recreational use side, how much, if I go have 2 glasses of bourbon, 2 little snifters of bourbon,
mm-hmm.
That's it. It's relaxing, tastes good, but I don't get drunk.
Right.
My faculties are not impaired. Someone tell me how much marijuana you can smoke or how much edibles you can eat before you're, you get that same thing as 1 glass of whiskey. I don't think it's very much. I don't think that's what people are doing with it. Getting mentally impaired, I think is dangerous for everyone. I think it dulls the senses. I've known a lot of people who are consistent pot smokers throughout their life, and I think it dulls their senses.
Oh, yeah.
I think it overall dulls their minds. And here's my big line of it. Look at our state. What are they doing? They want to legalize everything that makes you less alert and strong and healthy and good and true and beautiful.
And more docile.
They make you more docile. Why? So they can control you.
Yeah.
So Democrats don't care about your pot smoking.
Right.
They're not like, freedom. They could care less about your freedoms.
Yeah.
They go, we can get a bunch of people to vote for us if we just legalize pot.
Yeah.
And the Republicans are going to seem like the bad guys over here because they don't want pot. It's asinine, ladies and gentlemen. That marijuana shop now the representative for the owner and the owner themselves stood up there and like, well, we want to give back to the community and so on and so forth, and we'll pour into the kids, blah blah blah, all the stuff that they were going to do for the community.
Yeah.
And if they do it, wonderful. Now, the man who's opening it up is from Roswell. He doesn't live in Artesia.
Yeah.
Why? Because like you said, Roswell's already saturated. Opening up one more pot shop in Roswell's not going to make you rich. But you come down to Artesia and steal business from this other one. Oh, okay, now I can make more money.
Right.
So I'll be honest. I don't buy that he has all these great intentions for our town. And you know what? I just don't. But on the other side of it is, I think you're making money off of other people's vices,
and
then saying you're going to do good with that money. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not the way things work.
It's the way it shouldn't work.
I made this comment to some friends there. I was like, well, we could say the same thing about prostitution. Let's make prostitution illegal so they can make a bunch of money so they can give it to the local sports teams. No,
Right.
Let's not do that.
Well, and that is something I was thinking during this discussion is, okay, so do we put one on the south side next to the
Strip
club
club?
or whatever it is, and then put another one by the sex
The
shop on
yeah.
put them on the edge?
Well, we can't, and the reason those are where they are is because our city of Artesia won't let them inside city
Correct.
limits, but the county lets them open up out in the county. And so that's the thing. What really angers me about the whole thing, I am a free economy person, but when we start to turn vices into money-making ventures, we're not doing good for the people around us.
Right.
We're not helping people. What we're doing is making money off of people's weakness and making money off of people's addictions and making money off of people's, despair. That's the problem here. And I don't care how much good you think you can do with that money once you have it.
Yeah.
It's not genuinely money gained in good faith. And I think it's wrong.
It's like certain organizations that give a lot of money to Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Yeah.
But they make all of their money by selling alcohol.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we are the cause, or we are helping promote what we're throwing a little cash at to put away.
Yeah.
And that's something something that this whole marijuana thing has brought up also is our society's view towards alcohol and all of these things. And that we've become okay with alcohol. We're totally fine. The destruction that does on a daily basis throughout every community.
Yeah. We
need to work on that, as well as instead of just picking our poison that's okay.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, no, you know what? This poison is legal. So it's okay. This one we're going to make legal. It's, well, do we make everything legal even though everything is horrible? Or do we keep picking and choosing what is?
Well, and I think there's this, because that was an argument that went on the internet, and we'll have to break here in a couple minutes. We got about 2 or 3 minutes before I need to go to break. Here's the difference I see between alcohol and marijuana, right? And so people are like, well, alcohol is worse. You're absolutely correct. At least that's as far as we can tell number-wise.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of drunk driving accidents. I don't see a bunch of marijuana driving accidents. I'm sure there are some, but I don't, we don't track those numbers. There's no way, there's no chemical test to give to someone if they're high, if they're past the legal limit of smoking marijuana.
Well, and it still comes back to that personal responsibility.
It does.
You have 2 glasses of bourbon.
Yeah.
And I know that once I've eaten my gummy, I'm not driving.
Yeah.
That's
right.
But I have those rules of, okay, I am home.
Yeah.
I can eat my gummy and go to bed.
Like I said, for medicinal use, I'm all for it. Right. I think the recreational, my issue with recreational use is people who are constantly, here's the deal. I don't look at any great accomplishments in society today or yesterday by someone who, they look and they've made all these huge accomplishments at the end of their life and goes, man, I wish I'd spent more time drunk and high.
Right.
Okay. Look, I can't control everybody's behavior.
Right.
But I don't believe we should be moving down the road. Well, we can't control anybody, so let's just give them everything they want. Because the same thought could be said of illicit drugs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it is. I don't care how you shape it.
Yeah.
Once you start going down that road, right? Does prohibition work? No, it didn't work for alcohol, right? People still made it.
And the drug one created some of the wealthiest.
Yeah.
Just like the first one with alcohol.
So it is a tough subject, but I stand against it on this. It does nothing to make this town better whatsoever. Okay? We've got one. Let it be. But we don't need to have one on every corner in Artesia. So I hope that the city council takes my advice and works to do whatever they can to stop it at 2.
Yeah.
And let's let it be. It's enough.
Yeah.
We don't need any more, I would guess that, in a population of 12,000 people, maybe 10%, let's say at the most 10% are regular marijuana users, right? So that's 1,200 people. All right. 2 shops can service those 1,200 people and we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's let it be. All right, we got to go to a news break, and when we'll come back after this, we'll pick up another topic.
Hey, everyone, with your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. Coming off his 4th Pro Bowl season and with a ton of talent on offense, quarterback Dak Prescott tells you why this year's camp already feels like the edgiest he's been part of in his 11 seasons with the team. You'll hear from Dak after this.
Whether you're getting ready to purchase a home, setting up a college fund for your kids, or preparing for retirement, you're working hard to live a life you love. And you deserve peace of mind knowing your home, loved ones, and future are protected. At SWBC, we can help you assess your personal situation and create a customized solution to make sure you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. Visit SWBC.com to learn about your mortgage, insurance, and wealth management options today.
Cowboys Nation is big because everything's bigger in Texas. And Reliant has the energy to power it all. From home field advantage to home sweet home, Reliant has Dallas Cowboys fans all across the Lone Star State covered for every electric moment this season and beyond. Reliant, proud to be the official energy provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Reliant, PUCT number 10007.
It's only day 2 of on-field work at Cowboys training camp, but Dak Prescott says practices feel different this summer thanks to new defensive coordinator Christian Parker, who brings a certain fire and swag. Dak, who loves to trash talk, says the defensive players are firing right back.
Yeah, and then we like to celebrate on offense, and CP's reactions and mannerisms as he's a competitor. He's going to let you know when they get the best of the players, when he thinks that would have been a sack. It creates for a great environment, makes it a little edgy, but the competition is at an all-time high, and it's going to be a hell of a camp just competing against each other.
Tomorrow, the Cowboy cheerleaders arrive for a performance here in Oxnard, followed by Saturday's official opening ceremony of camp. With the Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Good morning, I'm John Terran. No change at the Fed yesterday. Interest rates stayed at 3.5 to 3.75%. 9 members of the FOMC committee voting in favor of the status quo, 3 looking for a hike. The Fed issued a very short statement to accompany the decision. You can't cure inflation in 9 weeks, said the boss, Kevin Walsh, but the markets felt he was lacking in clarity. they'd assumed a rate hike was coming.
Our goal is to have growth that is broadening and inflation that is becoming more limited. I'll be the first to admit the shocks make this job and this policy conjuncture a little tougher.
At the end of it all, the Dow was down 2.1%, more than 1,100 points. And the 30-year Treasury yield at 5.2%, the highest since 2007. And that was 2 decades ago. Oil was elevated, Brent by 8%, WTI 7%. This after President Trump said more strikes are planned on Iran. After the closing bell, Microsoft stock was up and Meta was down after they gave us their earnings. And now the focus moves on to what's happening today. After the closing bell, 2 more behemoths give us their earnings, Amazon.com and Apple. And the focus will be once again on CapEx spending, capital expenditure. Just how much money are they plowing into AI? With business, I'm John Terrett.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
What if the future of finance wasn't built around averages, but around you? At Abacus Global Management, we're reshaping financial planning around the most personal data point, your lifespan. But it's more than just insight, it's control. As a technology-driven asset manager, we're empowering investors with an integrated system to take command of your time, your future, your financial destiny. This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com.
Now, time for another Otis Advisory.
You've seen those shows where 2 guys are fighting and one of them swings back and bangs his head right into the other guy's skull on purpose. Well, how come only the other guy falls down while Headbutt Guy just keeps on going like nothing happened? Well, he's just banged his head into something too. If that was you, you'd be screaming,
"Oh, Uncle Otis, that hurts. Why did I do that? Time out."
Well, that's how it is with inflation. Everybody's head hurts, but only half of them act like they feel it. It's a 2-state solution. You're soaking in it. All while the Biden cartel just applies heat to drain the wealth right off the top. We'll all weigh 90 pounds, and that's the real equality. So yeah, your head ought to hurt. Inflation. Fake engagement rings, having to play miniature golf again, because that's all you got. And paying double for gas to make the polar bears happy. Inflation makes you do crazy things, like toasting your bread on just one side, because you can't afford to do the whole thing after you get home from that gluten-free bread line. Anyway, if you don't want to be the skunk at the lawn party, you'd better act like you want more inflation, at least until the lights go out altogether. That's when you'll know Earth is finally happy. It's like Paradise Lost again, home edition. I'll see you at the Peace March.
All right, welcome back, Artesia. Now, I told everybody we were going to go through headlines and stuff, but that last issue, I wanted to talk about that because I know it's on people's minds. They want to know what happened. Just to close that out, the final vote was 6-2. Councilman Wright and Councilman Perkins both voted no. Everyone else voted yes. But I will say during their comments, every one of them made the statement, "We do not want this.
Yeah,
but we can't afford a lawsuit." That's it.
Right.
So that's the position we're in, Artesia.
That was
because they will sue us if we vote no to allowing it in town.
That was one thing that I was going to say is we can change the laws here in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So at least we didn't do what Colorado did.
Yeah.
They turned it into an amendment.
Oh yeah.
So they can't easily, they cannot adjust, they cannot change. Whereas it's set. Whereas ours, at least we were smart enough to make it where they can adjust and make amendments and change the actual law without having to redo an amendment.
But understand this, vote red, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you the Republicans are not going to go back and outlaw it in this state.
No.
Anytime soon, because it brings in so much revenue for the state. All right, into that discussion.
So speaking of lawnmowers, I got
Speaking
this
of
new
lawnmowers-
chipper back.
I'd love to have a chipper.
Dual mulching blades.
That'd
I mean,
be
that thing's-
awesome. So, but no, I said I was going to do headlines, but there's a topic that popped up on one of the local Facebook pages that got me thinking, and I thought, let's talk about this on air. We got plenty of time to visit today. So, AI. So this person on one of the Facebook pages said, unpopular opinion, using AI for your business can make it seem cheap and lazy. I keep seeing businesses rely on AI for logos, ads, social media, and honestly, it just doesn't have the same feel. Can we go back to hiring real designers and artists, or at least creating something original ourselves? AI is very tacky in my opinion. Just a thought. Now, my 17-year-old son has the same opinion. He's very anti-AI. And so I think it's worth a discussion, because there was a number of people in there. Yeah, it's just garbage. It's, as the kid, my son calls it, slop. It's all AI slop.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand it doesn't create the most beautiful things in the world. I understand the argument that, well, it's taking jobs away from people. But this is a huge but. What I'm going to challenge this with is this. This is technology. It's a move forward in technology. It's not going away, by the way. And it creates efficiency. Okay. And efficiency always creates wealth. I'm a small business owner. I am a pastor. I do not have the time nor requisite skills to create a lot of the advertising and things that I need to create in order to keep the public engaged. What people don't realize, this is the big one. I don't think a lot of these people who are this is AI slop, blah, blah, blah. What they don't realize is it's their constant demand to be fed something via social media, via electronic advertising, all of that, their constant desire for that dopamine hit that created AI in the first place.
Yeah.
Because we don't have enough people to constantly feed that demand for more content.
For more viral uselessness.
Right. And so there's just this constant, give me more, give me more, give me more. And so when programmers figured out they could make the machine create what they needed, they made the machine create it. And so I look at that situation and I go, you can't be angry at people creating what you were demanding and trying to find a more efficient way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Efficiency creates wealth. There's no, the world revolves around time and money. If I don't have enough time, I need to have money. If I don't have enough money, I have to have time. And if I'm short on both, how can I then compete with those who have more? AI is a leveling tool. Business A down the street, been in business for 30 years, has more disposable income than me, can hire artists, can do all this great advertising and everything else. Great. I'm business B. I started up 2 years ago, and it's just me and my cousin Fred.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out how to compete with them, and we don't have the money to hire designers. But now I have a tool that I can go in and I can utilize to create something, maybe not equivalent, maybe not equal to what a really great artist can create, but I can create something.
Yeah.
And I can get my message out there, and it works. Right. I think you've heard me talk about reductio ad absurdum, right? So let's reduce this argument to its most absurd point. We shouldn't use AI, right? The argument is we shouldn't use AI because of A, it doesn't create as beautiful things, and B, the big one is, well, it puts people out of work, right? They're just doing that so they can escape paying people money to do this creation, right? Okay, well, let's reduce that to its most absurd point. Well, We just created computers because people couldn't, you just didn't want to pay people to typewrite things for you anymore.
Right.
We created typewriters because we didn't want to pay scribes to write things anymore. Let's just all go back. And you know what? Let's stop buying mass-produced ink. Let's stop buying mass-produced paint. Let's go back to making it ourselves.
Right.
Right. So the reduction of this argument comes back to we need to go back to the Stone Ages in order to make all things equal.
Right.
It's nonsense. It really is a nonsensical argument.
And this all came up with the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the late 90s. The internet had been around, and people were, when it started taking people like, oh, this is useless. Oh, this is this is. Well, it changed the entire world.
Yeah.
And for everyone who was so against it, yes, it's like everything else in this world. Do amazing things with the technology given to us with the internet. And you could do horrible things on it. You can use that tool however you see fit.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. How are you going to disregard it and be like, oh, this is stupid. This is, I'm not going to get involved. I don't need to know anything about it. Or this is where we're going. Let's adapt.
Yeah.
Let's learn.
Well, and I wonder if a lot of people understand the weight of the menial tasks that are involved in being a business owner, a manager, and everything else that just suck up your day and prevent you from doing more productive things on the other side. Right? We became a society of clerics over the past 100 years.
Yeah.
We used to be men that worked with their hands and built and created and did all this and that. And as things moved into the technological age, they were like, well, we need more people to sit behind desks. Maybe this is the answer. We can get people from quitting sitting behind desk and put them, and make a society that goes back out and builds beautiful things and creates, because guess what? There's not going to be an AI anytime soon that can, work on your car, diagnose and fix your car and change. Maybe they'll make a robot in 100 years that might be able to do it. Sure, maybe, but I don't know. But we need to grow food. We need to raise animals. We need, those kind of things. Climb up in your attic and fix your air conditioner.
Yeah.
Fix your electricity. Skilled labor. With your hands. We turned the office job into this. Ooh, I can't wait to have an office job. I've had office jobs. I don't like them.
I've sat in my corner office, closed the door, and watched cars fly by on the 202.
Yeah.
Just like thinking, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
But that also got started from when I was a kid, and I think it was a Commodore 64, to do some math problems, helping brother with homework. We're trying to do this, and a neighbor said, "What? Well, anyone can type numbers into that and get the answer."
Yeah.
And I looked and was like, "We'll do it." Well, I'm like, right.
Yeah.
Because someone has to write a program that will take and turn it into a calculator, but someone has to build this and instruct the computer. And that, I guess I was in the third grade. Yeah, so right after that, I learned how to program BASIC next door with Tony Haas.
Yeah. Well, and
that's where I went. But it was that, here's where it's going. How can I adapt and use it?
Yeah. It's funny because, for the past 10 years at least, the big drive has been coding. We need to teach kids coding. And you know what? People got into coding and somebody went, this sucks. I wonder if I can make a code to write code. And they did. They call it AI.
Yeah.
They're like, this is stupid. I don't want to sit here and do this all day. So let me make a machine that'll do this for me so I can go do something else that is actually creative and
instead of getting
productive,
Goodwill Hunting, doing a math problem across the wall. It's like, hey, what's up? Oh, okay.
Let's another good movie. What was the name of that movie? The women. It was about black women in the NASA program from the 60s, and everybody's like, oh, all this technology is destroying, and like, do you know what they used to call them women? They called them calculators. Until someone made a little thing that you can put on your watch that does, what I'm saying? They called them calculators,
right,
or computers, right? And then they actually made machines to do that. Did it put those people out of work? Yeah, but it made it twice as efficient to then do those calculations, and it removed any human error, right? And so, like, I don't understand this thing about technology. Now, I've only got a couple minutes, but so I want to add this. Let's throw a biblical point of view on this. All things in moderation, right? We can point back to the alcohol. We can point back to the marijuana. If it can be used in moderation, it is good. Yeah. Anything used in excess is bad. The same goes for AI, right? If we try to use AI to replace humans in areas where there should be a human, counseling, right? Counseling is not a calculation, right? But there are people utilizing this to get, help them process their emotions. Don't talk to a computer about your emotions. It's not,
that is helping promote children killing themselves.
Yeah, that's using AI in excess, right? And so we as Christians have to be involved in the AI sphere. We have to be able to look and see where can this go wrong and where can it be unbiblically utilized. If you're a pastor using AI to write your sermons, you're wrong, by the way. Call me. If you've got a problem with that comment, call me.
Yeah.
Don't use AI to write your sermons, right? Things that are a human element, we can't utilize for AI. So there has to be a reasonable mind behind what we're doing with this. Anything, this thing it's a good thing. AI is a good thing, but it can be used wrongly. It absolutely can. And so for us to be a bunch of Luddites, which means we hate technology, by the way, if we're going to be a bunch of Luddites and go, oh, that's just stupid, stay away from it, then the people who are going to utilize it and be the influence on it are going to be the people with good Christian morals and principles.
My alarm keeps going off, so I need to go take my drugs.
Go take your drugs, man. So, all right, Artesia, that's our thoughts on. We only got 2 topics down, Jeff. We talk too much sometimes. We got another segment next hour though. We'll come up with one more at the after that. Hey, after this we're gonna go to commercial break and news break, and when we come back, we'll be talking to Jessica from the Ocotillo on Zoom from the mural painting over on 13th and JJ Clark. And so we're going to see how everything's going over there. All right. Thanks for joining us, Artesia. We'll see you next hour.
At Hermosa Church of Christ, we strive to love God, follow Jesus, make disciples, and equip for service. Working to do this is both exciting and challenging. In our efforts to grow and serve, the family at Hermosa is excited to announce that we have recently added 2 positions to our ministry staff. Rivers Rich has joined us as youth and family minister. Rivers is a graduate of Abilene Christian University, and he's excited to work with our preteens and teenagers. In a new position for Hermosa, we are pleased to welcome Abby Rich. Yes, they came as a couple. She will serve as our youth education minister. A graduate of Lubbock Christian University, Abby has joined us to direct and coordinate the education of our elementary-age children. We're thankful and excited to have both Rivers and Abby as a part of our church family, and they're excited to serve our congregation and our community. Come join us and come meet them at Hermosa Church of Christ.
Exciting news for Southeast New Mexico. The Advanced Heart and Vascular Center of New Mexico in Carlsbad, home to Dr. Amanda Ryan's trusted cardiology care for over 13 years, is now part of Current Clinic. That means world-class electrophysiology services right here in Southeast New Mexico. No more 3-hour drives to see a specialist. Current Clinic is bringing advanced, life-changing treatment for atrial fibrillation, AFib, and other heart rhythm disorders close to home. Early intervention for AFib can dramatically lower your risk of stroke, and our goal is to help our community understand just how important that is. You and your loved ones deserve comprehensive, cutting-edge heart care without leaving town. If you're experiencing an irregular heartbeat or AFib symptoms, expert care is now available locally. Visit currentclinic.com today to learn more and schedule your consultation. Current Clinic, easy access to comprehensive AFib care right here in Southeast New Mexico. Incredible in Artesia is open for business, ready to give you the hometown quality and customer service you know and love. Georgia and her team specialize in in-house design for quality custom business cards at a competitive price. From scanning to desktop publishing, if you need it, they can do it. On Main Street across from the Derrick Floor statue in downtown Artesia. For all your printing needs, think Incredible.
When your crew's waiting on rock or sand, excuses don't move dirt. You need material delivered on time, period. J&H Services Incorporated supplies construction and oil field companies across southeastern New Mexico, West Texas, and the Permian Basin with quality aggregate materials and dependable delivery. Concrete sand, masonry sand, crusher fines, multiple rock sizes ready for your next job. No headaches, no runaround. Just reliable service from a company built to work as hard as you do. Call 575-393-6204 or visit jhservicesinc.com.
Hungry for flavor? Since 1965, La Fonda in Artesia has been serving up some of the most inventive New Mexican dishes around. From rich, slow-cooked red and green chili to sizzling carne avocado, every bite is tradition with a twist.
That chicken enchilada plate, so spicy, so comforting, just what I needed.
Come visit us at 210 West Main in Artesia or call 575-746-9377. We're open Monday through Friday from 11 till 2 and 4:30 to 8. Closed on weekends. Treat yourself to something local. La Fonda, where flavor feels like home.
Don't let a tooth infection or painful wisdom teeth disrupt your life. At Carabelli Dental, our highly trained team specializes in extractions and wisdom teeth treatment. We're here to help patients find relief quickly and comfortably. With IV sedation options available, you can experience compassionate care from a team dedicated to your health, comfort, and smile.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia. I'm Rich Thomason. A key inflation barometer, one that is closely monitored by the Fed, has us 3.7% higher last month compared to a year ago. Meanwhile, the American economy grew at 1.5% April to June. Wall Street is rallying this morning, taking back some of what it lost in yesterday's major sell-off. The U.S. retaliates for Iran's targeting of American troops in Jordan earlier in the week. U.S. Central Command says a number of IRG-related targets were hit overnight. Those targets reduced to rubble. And Russia unleashed a devastating overnight attack on Ukraine.
The onslaught of ballistic missiles and drones has been going on for hours. Explosions were first reported in Kyiv shortly before midnight local time. Several fires broke out and the authorities have been urging people to remain in shelters. As the night has gone on, waves of cruise missiles and drones have been reported heading for targets across the country. First to the central cities of Dnipro and Kryvyi Rih, but soon as far west as Lviv, where 2 apartment buildings have been damaged.
The BBC's Ali McConnell. He delivered a lengthy statement, but then refused to answer any questions. Dr. Anthony Fauci appearing before a Senate panel investigating the origins of COVID-19. Fauci repeatedly took the fifth. Senator Rand Paul says Fauci owes the American people an apology for his handling of the pandemic.
Instead of an apology, you have for years avoided responsibility.
Paul raising the possibility of Fauci being held in contempt of Congress. There is progress in the battle against the raging wildfires burning across southwest France. Some 84,000 evacuees now being allowed to return to their homes. On Wall Street, stocks are higher this morning. The Dow is up 152 points. The Nasdaq 498 points higher, a gain of 2%. Townhall.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free, no-risk consultation. 800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
South Korean chip maker Samsung Electronics' bottom line has exploded recently, thanks in large part to the AI boom.
Samsung has said that the investments that we're seeing around the world in building AI data centers means that you need more servers, and to put inside those servers, you need chips that are made by Samsung, essentially. Net profit was up 56% compared to the previous quarter, so the first 3 months of this year. But in South Korea, we actually look at operating profit, and compared to the same 3 months a year ago, operating profit was up 1,800%. They made $62 billion in operating income in that quarter.
And that's the BBC's Maura Fogarty. Todd Blanchard's nomination to become Attorney General has stalled, with lawmakers scrapping a planned committee vote. A couple of Republicans, Senators John Cornyn and Tom Tillis, still not on board. Townhall.com. The Historic Divinity School is offering the first doctoral degree in AI and moral agency.
At the end of the Civil War, a Union soldier and Baptist minister founded a school in Raleigh, North Carolina to provide formerly enslaved people with religious literacy. Now that same school, Shaw University, wants to provide literacy of a new kind, AI literacy. Starting next year, Shaw's Divinity School plans to offer a new degree track, the Doctor of Education in Artificial Intelligence and Moral Agency. It will become the first theological school of the Association of Theological Schools Network to offer a degree in AI on either the master's or doctoral level. Keith Peters reporting.
Microsoft has posted strong quarterly earnings, beating analyst expectations. Company earned $90 billion in the April through June quarter, up 18% from a year ago. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Today's KSVIP is Kirsten Moritzen. Thanks for all your wonderful work you do on the murals that help make Artesia beautiful. And this is from all the citizens of Artesia. Today, Kirsten, you're going to receive a flower from Nell's Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIP, Kirsten Moritzen.
Welcome back, Artesia. It is Thursday, the 9 o'clock hour, and we're now joined on Zoom by Miss Jessica Addington. How are you doing out there, ma'am?
Hey guys, we're staying cool, finding some shade. How are you?
I see Kirsten lurking in the background there. She's hard at work today.
Our KSVIP.
Yeah, she is the KSVIP today. Did they bring you your flowers out there?
No, because I'm going to go pick it up so it stays in AC.
You didn't want them out there wilting with you all day long.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys are out at, now is that side of the road called J.J. Clark or is that Mahone?
This is J.J. Clark.
Yeah, that's right. It's on the J.J. Clark side. So 13th and J.J. Clark, you guys are completing the mural out there. I see a ton of people at work. So how's it going?
Yeah, so far so good. We got here about 8 o'clock this morning. Kirsten had it all ready for us with all of the paint colors mixed and ready. We have volunteers out here from HF Sinclair and a few other organizations, so we'll go say hi to them here in a minute. But Yeah, Kirsten's got this down. She has her whole little design for everybody to see.
I
So
see that. Holy
it's
cow.
really cool.
That
Yeah.
thing is absolutely amazing.
Yes. So we have comments like,
Oh, and I see.
Okay.
I like all the tents just in a row. So like
Yes.
when one tent gets done, do you move it down to the next, kind of like a like a hopscotch thing?
yes. Yeah. So we have about 20 volunteers out here, it looks like, just helping Kirsten get this done. It's a huge project. She partnered with Artesia Clean and Beautiful. We have Linda over here too. She's even helping. Say
Yeah.
hi, Linda.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. You having fun?
Oh, always.
Always. You got the blue
I love
paint.
to paint.
You got the blue paint there. I see you're going to town.
Yeah, well, and the dark colors are a challenge because cinder block is a whole new ball game to paint. You know, it's full of holes, and you just keep poking paint on there, and you think you've done something, you back away, and find out you haven't done as much as you thought you did.
A little harder to keep those crisp, clean lines on cinder block.
Oh yeah, it takes work. It's not a race. It's just a matter of straight lines.
Awesome. Well, that you guys, I really appreciate it. It is looking absolutely beautiful out there. I know I was driving by one day. I was like, they need to do that other side over there too.
Yeah. So she's doing all the way along. You can see all the volunteers here.
Yeah.
We got the chamber girls down here too. We'll come say
Oh,
hello.
you got them out there working as well, huh?
But yes, everybody's working today.
Hey, ladies. So I get the whole crew of everybody to talk to today.
Yeah, they're doing a beautiful job. Working
Yeah.
hard. And then
so,
we have some more down this way. So
yeah. So anybody can come out there today, right?
yes, it's open. The street is blocked over on 10th, but you can just go through the barricades. They have it all nice and safe so we can walk around. But yeah, you can come through here, park, and find the tent with Kirsten underneath it. She'll hand you some paint, and it's all numbered so we know exactly where to paint, what spots. She has some really cool tributes out here with some space, people painting murals, sports, Bulldog Bowl, all kinds of neat stuff.
That is absolutely amazing. So the world's largest paint by number out there.
There we go. Yes.
Okay.
We're happy to be a part of it and support her. And she does so much work for the community. She really deserved that VIP. So it was cool to hear that before she got on with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, sounds like everything's going absolutely swimmingly out there. Anything else you want to tell us? Any little things coming up? Maybe something about dirt and gold. I don't know. I see it I see it on somebody's hat there.
Yeah, hey, we're getting excited. We had city council this last Tuesday, so our location and our layout got approved. So we will be out there. Of course, we've shared the dates, September 25th and 26th. Go to our Facebook page, our Red Dirt Black Gold. We're starting to do band announcements, so those will be rolling out over the next couple of weeks. And we're excited to have it located on Quay Street this year. We experienced a bit of a flood zone last year on Texas, so we knew that we would have to adjust. So yeah, it'll be on Quay from 2nd to 5th Street.
Okay.
So that whole block will be utilizing the library parking lot and some of First American. So we appreciate their partnership and, helping us out and making it a successful event.
That is exciting. So it's going to be right here in front of the station.
Oh, yeah. We'll be coming to talk to you guys about that pretty soon. We have lots of businesses to, it really
Have you talked to Gene about that?
Well, Gene's going to be a part of the event. It's
There
fine.
you
He's
go.
one of our partners. So, it really, we liked that on Quay. It did, affect less Main Street merchants. Whenever we had it on Main Street, a lot of people didn't have access to those stores.
Yeah.
And so this year, while it will be all of Quay, those stores will still be accessible to the public on Friday and Saturday. So
Perfect.
we're excited to roll out more details on that. But yeah, it's coming up quick.
Awesome. So I'm sure you don't have a whole sheet in front of you, but is there anything else you want to highlight out there?
I do. Yeah, we have a couple of things coming up at the Ocotillo. Tonight we have a art reception with Samantha Odom from Cloudcroft. She will be in the Ocotillo. We'll have cookies and water and just a free reception for people to come and talk to her and see her show. It's currently in the lobby. It's called Leather and Metal. So really beautiful work. I know she was on the radio with you guys last week, but she was able to share more about that. But if you'd like to meet her in person, come by the Ocotillo today at 5:30, and that is a free event. And then tomorrow we have a class. Let me think what it is.
Clay.
The Art of Clay.
Yeah.
Yes. We have Shama Bootson coming in. She's a ton of fun. So that'll be from 2 to 5 o'clock tomorrow. I would really recommend people to go ahead and hop on and get their tickets for that. I know that we were about halfway sold out. We have to limit that class to 15 people. So if you were thinking about doing that, please go ahead and hop on our website, reserve your spot for that class.
Oh, great. Awesome. So,
Mhm.
so how much painting have you got to do out there today?
Not that much. I'm here for the vibes.
You're
here
here
to say hello.
You're there. You're there for moral
It's hot.
support.
It's actually probably time for me to get back to the office.
You're like, I'll come out
Just
there and
kidding.
promote the project, and
Yes.
paint, you gotta
No,
go
I
paint. You gotta go
actually
paint one little thing though. When you
Yeah, I
when
don't
you
know if
go
you can
by
see-
it.
Yeah, I did that little H right there. I don't know
Okay.
if you can see it
No,
behind
it's-
me.
okay.
So
I
forgot my knee pads and my sunscreen.
It's fun. And we encourage people to go out and do this because it's really cool. The Heritage Walkway. When they were doing that, we were living here and we found out about it and they were asking for help. And I went out there and did a bunch of the grout work on the tile. And so every
Okay.
time I go through there, I remember hey, I did that.
I did that.
Yes. And so
everybody in the community has that opportunity today. So
Yeah, so-
definitely stop by. You can show your kids, I painted this. I'm a muralist now.
yeah, I'm a muralist. Don't tell them about the paint by number piece.
Yeah, no kidding. No,
I
Kristen's
painted
done
that
a
right
great
there.
job. She's made it super easy. It's fun to be a part of stuff like this. So yeah, we encourage everybody to come out. She'll be here till 11, and then we'll be posting more dates because it's going to take more than one of these gatherings to get this thing done. But we're happy to help her get it completed.
Awesome. That's wonderful. So, anything else? We got a couple minutes still to go. Is there anything else you want to tell people about what's happening at the Artesia or?
Yeah, we have a few more shows coming up. On August 29th, we have Hooks and the Huckleberries coming.
Oh,
They
great.
are a country rock band. They actually played at Red Dirt Black Gold last year, so it's a fun little kickoff to the fall. It's going to be on a Saturday. We'll have Pecos Flavors and Winery there. So it'll be a good time. I encourage people. We'll have our tickets up for that soon. We just kind of got it approved at City Council this last week as well. So those tickets will be going up soon. We have another oil patch market happening on August the 8th. That'll be behind the Ocotillo. We're excited to have some extra games set up and a DJ. We'll have Drowsy Drew there. So it'll be a fun little back to school opportunity to do some local shopping.
And that's the second week in September, second Saturday in
Yes.
September, right? And how long you guys?
No, August. I'm sorry, August 8th. Yes.
August. I don't know. Like
Jumping ahead.
School started and it's supposed to be September already. How long are you guys gonna run that this year? Is that gonna go all the way through Christmas or?
I would hope so. I hope that, really it will be nicer in the fall and the winter. It's so hot right now.
It's so hot up.
I'm not really the one to make those decisions,
Yeah.
but I would hope that it continues through the
Okay.
second Saturday. We're just kind of the support there. I am excited. I don't know if I'm the person to announce it, but at City Council on Tuesday, Destiny Rojo, the president of the Main Street Board, announced that they have hired 2 employees for Main Street.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, we'll be able to continue to work together with them to get these events passed back over. But yeah, I will continue, finishing out Red Dirt Black Gold this year, but that is a Main Street event. Oil Patch Market is Main Street. So I'm not sure how long they'll run, but we'll continue doing them on the second Saturdays as long as we can.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, try to stay cool out there as long as you can and encourage everybody, tell them all, and everybody go down and help out.
Yeah, come
how
see
late
us.
is it?
We'll be here till 11.
Till 11 this morning, and then what's the
11
time?
this morning.
And what's the time tomorrow?
That's a good question. I would say it's probably 8 to 11 again. but I'm
Okay,
not sure.
8 to 11. So
I'm not really sure where the information was being posted. I was
Yeah.
just told to be here. Here I am.
I've got
So-
it here somewhere. I'll look it up and double check and make sure we get those right those times out there for everybody to just show
All
up
right.
and come out there and paint. Well, thank you so much, Jessica, for joining us. This is a fun way to do today's interview. So,
Yeah, good times. Thank you for having me, and we'll see you next week.
all right, take care and God bless.
Okay, bye-bye.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. 102 to 105 on the afternoon high today. With that big high pressure system overhead, we'll be getting a lot of sunshine. Overnight looks clear, mid-70s, and then around 105 and sunny on Friday. We've got a chance of some showers and thunderstorms rolling through on Friday night. Maybe an afternoon shower on Saturday, partly cloudy and upper 90s. We're in the upper 90s and sunny on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Do you have missing teeth or would like them replaced? If you think dental implants are not affordable, think again. At Maupin & Brown Dentistry, their goal has always been to provide the highest quality dentistry in a state-of-the-art office at a reasonable price. They routinely treat patients that have traveled out of town for a consultation but cannot afford the treatment quoted. If this sounds like your story, come in today. As one of New Mexico's largest users of the world-class Nobel implants, they're able to purchase in volume and pass the savings on to you. So if you're missing a tooth or have loose dentures, call today for a free evaluation, which includes a free 3D x-ray. You'll be given treatment options and an honest evaluation with no hard sell, no arm twisting. But don't take our word for it. Just ask one of the thousands of patients they've treated. Maupin & Brown Dentistry, your choice for experienced, affordable, state-of-the-art dentistry. Call 627-0141 or visit maupinbrown.com.
Check out the smoking hot savings this week at Fence Country Market in Artesia. Select bags of Totino's Pizza Rolls are 2 for $10, and select boxes of General Mills breakfast cereals are $3.98 each. In produce, red ripe strawberries are $2.97 a pound, and jalapeno poppers are just 97 cents a pound. In the meat department, family packs of 80% lean ground beef are just $4.77 a pound, and 10-pound bags of fryer leg quarters are $6.99 each. These are just some of the smoking hot savings this week at Fence Country Market in Artesia.
Big win tonight. Everybody's celebrating and the drinks are flowing. And then somebody decides they're totally fine to drive. That's when every potential driver needs a timeout.
Think you can drink and drive? Terrible play.
Luckily, a sober friend steps in and offers a ride home instead. And just like that, crisis avoided. If someone's been drinking, get them a safe ride home.
Play on!
Make the right call. Help end DWI. Brought to you by NMDOT.
Beat the summer heat and come see us today at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop. Find all your summer fabrics, plus top-notch sewing machines. The Cow is your certified dealer and repair station for handy quilter long arm, brother, and baby lock sewing and embroidery. It's time to create. Join our beginning embroidery and quilting classes. Log on to RoswellQuilting2.com and follow Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop on Facebook for updates and creation ideas. Want to know how? Come to the Cow.
Forest Tire is like that friend you can always count on, there when you need them most. Your go-to for dependable performance mile after mile. When your vehicle has to work as hard as you do, you need tires you can trust. What you need is a tire that can keep up, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect, you can lose track of the miles and focus on what really matters. The memories made along the way. Stop in today. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
Tired of waiting at the dealership? Artesia Ford Sales brings expert Ford mobile service right to your home or office in Artesia. Our certified technicians perform oil changes, tire rotations, brake inspections, battery service, fluid checks, and more, while you stay productive. Enjoy complimentary service at your convenience. No hidden fees for the visit. Same Ford quality and warranty, plus time saved for what matters most. For 60 years, our family has taken care of yours. Call Artesia Ford Sales today and schedule your mobile service.
Working from home? Power up your home office with PVT's ultimate Wi-Fi experience. Enjoy pro-level connectivity and productivity with PVT's fiber internet, bringing you reliable video conferences, high-capacity file sharing, and stable Wi-Fi throughout your home. Transform your workday and become a home office hero. Visit pvt.com or call us at 575-748-1241 to learn more and get connected.
Welcome back, Artesia. I guess we're just going to do the rest of the show by Zoom. Jeff, in the next segment, you just stay in there in the office, and we'll do everything by Zoom for this hour. Aaron, welcome to the show, man. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How about you?
We're doing awesome, man. So, yeah, they called us. They texted us last hour, told us last hour, hey, Jessica's going to do a live Zoom from out at the mural. So,
yeah, that was nice.
That was pretty cool.
To be able to see them.
So you're going to run out there and paint a little bit. You know, it's probably too cool in your office. You probably need to go out there and do some painting.
Right. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
the thing about me and paint is if there's paint anywhere around me that's wet, it's going to find my clothes.
It's going to be on you. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I would go do it. I'm just dressed too nice. You know, I can't do any painting. So, oh man. Well, hit us with a joke, man. What you got this morning?
All right. So a nun goes to the priest and says, Father, there's a hole in the roof of your church. Thank you for telling me, he replied, but you've been here for years. It's our church. The next day, the nun goes to the priest and says, Father, there's a broken window in our church. He thanks her again and calls for a repairman. The next day, the priest is preparing for a visit from the local bishop. As he was weeding the gardens, he cut his hand. He called the nun over and says, There's a bottle of rubbing alcohol in my quarters somewhere. Could you fetch it for me? The nun nods and runs to look for it. It is as the priest is greeting the bishop that she returns from the church and loudly announces, Father, don't worry about the weed. The alcohol was under our bed.
Oh, that's pretty good, man. I like that. Awesome, dude. Hey, let's go ahead and give us that report, and I'll find something for us to talk to you about on the other side.
I'm sure we can figure out something. All right. This is Aaron Irving with LPL Financial, member of FINRA and the SIPC, bringing you your mid-morning stock market report for Thursday, July the 30th. Stocks are higher this morning, rebounding from yesterday's sell-off when the Federal Reserve decided to hold rates steady. Microsoft and semiconductor names helped drive those gains. The Nasdaq Composite rose 2.5%, while the S&P 500 was 1.2% higher, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 0.5%. Microsoft shares jumped 15% after reporting growth from its Azure business. Semiconductors also rallied, with the iShares Semiconductor ETF SOXX up by more than 8%. In contrast, Meta Platforms was down 9% after issuing a soft revenue forecast and a 91% drop in second quarter free cash flow. Investors monitored the bond market, with the 30-year yield hovering near 2007 highs after the Fed's decision to keep rates unchanged yesterday. It jumped 6 basis points after regular trading yesterday to above 5.2%. The rest of the yield curve was little changed. Wall Street is coming off of a rough session yesterday when the Dow plunged more than 1,100 points, marking the blue chip index's worst decline since April of 2025. The NASDAQ 100 fell into correction territory, while the NASDAQ Composite was not too far off of those levels itself. Investors feared the Fed was falling behind on the fight with inflation after the central bank kept rates steady at the conclusion of its meeting yesterday. The latest economic data released this morning showed inflation remaining above the Fed's target. The core reading for personal consumption expenditures price index in June showed an annual level of 3.3%, which was in line with Dow Jones consensus estimates. U.S. growth slowed to 1.5% for the second quarter, missing the forecasted 1.8%, but underlying drivers for the economy remain solid. One of the busiest weeks of corporate earnings continues today, with Amazon, Apple, and Coinbase set to report after today's close. Currently, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is 136 points higher at 51,730. The S&P 500 is up 57 points to 7,373. And the NASDAQ Composite is 480 points higher at 24,923. West Texas Intermediate crude is down 2 cents a barrel at $84.44. Stocks of local interest. HF Sinclair is up 92 cents a share at $90.92. Walmart is $2.82 lower at $111.40 a share. Xcel Energy is down 30 cents a share at $78.42. And Oxy Petroleum is down $1.01 to $55.02 a share. This is Aaron Irving with Oakley & Irving Wealth Management, serving business owners and energy industry professionals in the Pecos Valley and beyond. You can find us at oywealth.com or at our offices in Artesia and Carlsbad. You can call us at 575-887-7075. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Securities are offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA, and the SIPC.
All right, man. So, I went ahead and did some grokking while you were talking, too.
Oh, the grokking while I'm talking.
Yeah, grokking while you're talking. Explain to a financial dummy like myself. So, 1,100 point drop in the Dow, 2.2% thing, and from what Grok's saying is it was in response to them not raising interest rates. Like, how does that stuff work? Like, why would that be the case?
Yeah, and I think it was truly more on the Iran front with some of Trump's comments and things. They just the commentators choose to blame it on that. But they are trying to adjust from the previous Fed chairman's way of, like, he telegraphed everything they were going to do. You knew if they were going to raise rates in the next meeting before the first meeting ended. Warsh is more market driven, and so he's going to be a lot quieter about those things, not going to be telegraphing what they're going to do, because they might, circumstances may change between now and the next Fed meeting. So he's not going to put himself down on paper saying, yeah, we're likely to raise rates next time, because who knows what will happen in the next month and a half.
Well, that sounds prudent to me, in that he's reacting to the actual situation on the ground rather than trying to control. Because it seems to me the other way, when you're telegraphing constantly, you're trying to drive the markets rather than react to the markets.
Yeah. That, and the last Fed was real big about, you knew where they were going before they went there. There weren't any surprises, except for when Chairman Powell started talking. He always said something that drove the market down. But Warsh was more what he didn't say and what he was not going to say that made some people nervous, and that affected the markets a little bit. But I think the big drive down was President Trump's comments about the big attack on Iran and that type of thing.
Gotcha.
Really got people excited.
And when I just heard you give me the raw number of 1,100 point drop, it's like, oh my goodness, that seems pretty substantial. And then you look at it and, like, it's still above 51,000.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
the fact that it's gone up so much over the last 20 years or so, that 1,000 points is not as big as it was during even 2008. 1,000 point drop in 2008 was significant.
Well, and not to mention the fact that last year it was 49,000.
Right.
And they're like, oh, it'll never reach 50,000 during Trump's administration. And here we are. We lost 1,000 points and we're still above 51. So I'm like, I don't know that this is all that big of a deal.
Yeah, we're down a little bit. We're not, we're not, I don't know how far we are from the records, but we're not that far away from the record highs, even though we're down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's scary when you see the market drop a couple of percent in one day, but it's part of the way it works.
I'm sure the media is paying. I haven't been, in the media. I'm studying and writing right now, but I'm sure they're panicking and telling us the world's going to end, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you don't get people logging in and watching if everything's good. They kind of let it go, but when there's things bad, that's what brings people's eyeballs, and so they're always gonna focus on the bad to bring people to the.
Yeah, if it bleeds, it leads. So I guess the quick resolution to this conflict is not going to happen anytime soon.
I guess not. I think we're going to have to take out some bad people before.
Well, I noticed in the news blurb as I was doing my news aggregators that we've ramped up the strikes. I don't know if Bridge and Power Day is here yet, but I think we're getting close. And but they said that they're going to start striking some IRGC sites, and I'm wondering if what they mean by that is like billeting and bases where they're housed and things like that, and actually start.
Why did we not do that a long time ago?
And that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, combatant soldiers, hit them where they live. If you've
IRGC is the reason they're holding out. That's the people that kill their people, the civilians, and that's the people that shoot the rockets. And
I wonder though if maybe they didn't have a false hope of take out the leadership and then maybe a military coup happens, or like maybe the soldiers are unhappy and maybe they'll turn on the government. But yeah, I don't think so. They're idealist within that organization, and so.
Yeah, a lot of the IRGC, if the government, like if the IRGC was not there to protect the IRGC, I think the civilians that are family members of the people they killed would serve justice upon them. So
yeah, and I don't, it's interesting to look at a nation like that. You have a large populace that's very, very angry and really doesn't want this leadership in place. But they're so controlled and so hamstrung. They have nothing to fight with, Yeah.
And when 40,000 of your people just got slaughtered, you're not going to be quick to put your hand up and say "me too," probably.
Yeah, I mean, and you got a government that's willing to just slaughter people, its own people. It's a hard thing to encourage and raise up a counter force within a country like that. Especially, without putting boots on the ground and putting, American soldiers in there to lead them into the fight, which we don't want to do at all.
Right.
I
don't understand why we don't have, you got Saudi Arabia, Oman, and all those other Muslim countries. Tell them to get in there and take care of it.
I know. And I do know Kuwait and Qatar did some airstrikes with their military was it last week or the beginning of this week? I did see that headline that they actually have gotten into the fight, and so I don't know to what extent, I've seen the Kuwaiti Air Force. It's not that impressive.
There's a reason we had to go over there in the 90s, right?
Yeah. It's like, I was just there like 10 years ago and I'm like, nah. So I'm not, I don't know that they're going to be a whole lot of help, but.
Yeah.
But maybe,
I think boots on the ground there should be Muslim boots on the ground. That way they don't get it in the religious, great Satan is killing Iranians.
Yeah.
It's other Muslims are killing Iranians because they're bad.
Yeah, but I've seen their militaries too. It's, really, if you look at it, the nations like, Saudi Arabia has a substantial military force. They could do a ground invasion, with our help. But, you look at places like Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, all of them, they really just have a national defense force, kind of like Japan. Like they're not a military trained to go fight anywhere else. They're just there to protect themselves, and it's not much.
Right.
It's not that huge. It's not that
hold
impressive.
them off until the U.S. can come help.
Yeah, it really kind of is. It's like, please come help us. So, but yeah, so as we look at it, it is going to affect us economically. I'm looking at polls though. I don't know that it's going to hit the midterms the way everybody thinks. They were predicting on the news. Right now, the polls, like the Republicans are up huge.
Hopefully that maintains. It's crazy seeing the people that they're trying to get to represent on the Democrat side.
Yeah, I think they played their hand too quickly. With the Democratic Socialist, America at large is not ready for that.
They said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, they said it too early, and I think everybody's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I wasn't talking about all that, So, and the fact that the larger Democratic Party's not pushing back against that, that's that silence is consent, and that's what I think people are seeing in the Democratic Party. Now, of course, your hardcore Democrats, they're on board, whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're
a man a woman, men can have babies, all of that. So what big step is it to be a Democrat socialist?
Right. But what is it? The undecided vote, that they always talk about, the people who are like, I don't know, man, whatever. I think when they start hearing that kind of insanity,
Yeah.
They go, whoa, wait a minute. That's not, I'm not down with that. They may not like a Republican Party, but they're like, no, I'm not playing with those guys right now because that's just too insane.
Yeah, I that just reminded me. I got an email from the New Mexico Insurance Commissioner a couple of days ago, and the Trump administration said, you can't make insurance companies fund transgender surgeries.
Yeah.
Right. Well, apparently New Mexico says you can.
Oh my goodness.
If there's a law that says we don't discriminate against transgender in New Mexico, insurance companies are required to provide needed transgender surgery.
Oh my goodness, man. And unfortunately, I doubt there's going to be any insurance companies that stand on principle, go, no, we're not doing this, and leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they do, it's to our detriment, and they
Right.
just, but the left doesn't care, until everybody is bows to their will on this thing. They don't care. They really don't. So, all right, man. Well, thanks for visiting with me and help me feel. I haven't had any guests today, so it's just you and Jessica. That's it. So I was like, well, I'm gonna drag this conversation out for a while, man. I appreciate it. Always enjoy talking to you, brother. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
All right, you too.
All right, God bless.
God bless you too.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The U.S. retaliates for Iran's targeting of American troops in Jordan earlier this week. U.S. Central Command says a number of Iranian military-related targets were struck overnight. Those targets reduced to rubble. Inflation fears and the Iran war sent oil prices higher while stocks tumbled yesterday. The Dow fell more than 1,100 points yesterday. However, today, a comeback on Wall Street. The key index is trading higher so far this morning. Russia has unleashed a devastating overnight attack on Ukraine. Missile and drone strikes all across the country. At least 8 people, children among them, were killed. And there will be no Senate committee votes today on Attorney General nominee Todd Blanche. The vote's been canceled. A couple of Republican senators threatening no votes. The Dow is up 332 points. NASDAQ ahead 561. More details at srnnews.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. 102 to 105 on the afternoon high today. With that big high pressure system overhead, we'll be getting a lot of sunshine. Overnight looks clear, mid-70s, and then around 105 and sunny on Friday. We've got a chance of some showers and thunderstorms rolling through on Friday night. Maybe an afternoon shower on Saturday, partly cloudy and upper 90s. We're in the upper 90s and sunny on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
All right, welcome back, Artesia, for our last segment. Jeff's going to come in here. We'll finish up. I was looking through my headlines list to see what all is going on. I think we'll jump to a little bit of national news because I there's been watching this Anthony Fauci, thing, this discussion, and I think there's a moral component to this that is kind of mind-boggling. As we look at what's going on. So if you guys don't know, one of the committees in the Senate, I'm not sure which committee it is. It's headed by Rand Paul. Mm-hmm. I love Rand Paul. The guy's great. But they called Fauci in to, and they've done this a number of times, but they called him in to talk to him about more information they've uncovered about what happened with COVID, right? And they're finding more and more proof that he was complicit in all this, and that everything he was doing to handle it all and everything else was just a bunch of nonsense.
Made him wealthy.
It did. I think that was one of the big kickers. First off, they call him in, and he pleads the fifth on everything. What color is your tie? Under the Fifth Amendment, I want to exercise.
I have been advised by my lawyer.
It's like, I can't remember who it was. Was it Holly?
Yeah.
It was Holly. It's like, what color is the carpet in front of you?
I plead the fifth. According to my lawyers.
Yeah.
What tie?
Now, let's be. I guess in a sense, be fair about this. Trump did the same thing when he was called in on some charges under the Biden administration. It wasn't the Congress, though. It was something else. It was a court. It was a court. No, it was it was a court case.
Yeah.
And he just pled the fifth through the whole thing. And so that is a reasonable thing to do, unless you have a blanket pardon from the last president for everything, right? So they're trying to investigate. They're not actually trying to go after Fauci. They're trying to investigate our government.
Yeah.
For what our government did during this. Now, do I think Fauci should be strung up? Absolutely. The guy was getting he took over $1 million in prize money for what he did. And I don't even understand that.
Well, and all of the applications, everything sent in, that was all done by government employees. Not him.
Yeah, he directed his own employees to send him in for awards.
And also go to these places and argue on his behalf that he should win this. Yeah. And then there was he had to keep the money, and he was talking about in his personal emails and of how to run the money so that it doesn't go through the government.
Yeah.
So it goes straight to him.
Yeah.
And it was all this convoluted, almost like the shell company type stuff of moving things around.
It was ridiculous.
And I have to say, for all the people that talked about how brilliant he was, to keep your diary about
how did they get it? You know?
It was all done on computers owned by the government. It was government computers,
government hard drives,
government email, so they didn't need a warrant. It's just hey.
You know what boggled my mind is this guy is supposed to be one of the most intelligent, and you can't doubt, I'm sure he's really, really intelligent man. Like most intelligent doctors in all of history, blah, 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 all this. Listening to the people read his diary, it sounded like a 15-year-old boy who a girl looked at him for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, it just was infantile. Dear diary, Julia Roberts loves me. She just thinks I'm the greatest. What? What grown man does this?
What was it? The most infamous serial killer of all time? Is him?
Yeah, it's him. I mean, honestly, it's one of the interesting facts that came out in it is he had an embolism after he got his first shot.
Oh,
right, and still continue to press all these booster shots and all this nonsense. My father had an embolism because of that stupid shot. Yeah, and it angers me to no end because it changed his health. Yeah. And we've seen it with people. It killed people. And this guy will never be held accountable.
Right.
It's disgusting, and I think one of the interesting things about COVID, if there was anything good that came out of COVID, if there was anything good, is, man, it pulled back the curtain to the amount of corruption in our government.
Yeah.
It really did. Like it opened a whole new array of everybody's eyes going, there's a lot of corruption going on. I think we all kind of assumed and knew, but it's all coming out now.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, well, there's some good to be thought. Now, and you see this all over the social media. They're like, but nobody's gonna be held accountable.
Right.
And that is frustrating. Justice will not be done in any of these cases. Now, I would love to see, I don't know, I haven't seen anybody talk about it or the idea of giving someone immunity when they haven't been charged. I thought or not immunity, but a pardon.
Yeah.
I thought a pardon had to come after someone being charged and found guilty.
Instead,
like
these
a
were just
blanket pardon for this time frame to this time frame. The only way you do that is if you know that person did something illegal in that window, something bad in that window, and that it would come out.
See, and this is something that, and I haven't, now this trial has all taken over, but when the original controversy over the pardons happened, they were discussing that the auto pen pardon is for federal crime only, so that Fauci can be taken to court and found guilty if any states go after him.
I wish another country would go after him. We would extradite him to another country and have him strung up in another country for killing their people.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the guy was complicit in a worldwide epidemic.
And in those notes, in his diaries and notes, showing that, understanding that the mass social all of it was including the, now I can't think of the two drugs that
ivermectin. Yeah, he covered up the efficacy of ivermectin and something else.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember what the other one is, but yeah, but
both of them, and he knew that they worked.
They had studies that it wasn't like 100% effective. It was like 65%. It was effective for 65% of the people. So you could have saved 65% of the people.
Yeah,
and you said no. These guys over here pay me a bunch of money to tout their miracle drug that they came up with overnight, which actually probably caused more harm.
And not only that, but also if they admitted that ivermectin and the other thing worked at all, then he would not have been granted the emergency
powers,
the emergency session for the vaccines. The only way to get that ramped and pushed out was to prove nothing else would work.
Yeah. Now, nobody said this or shown this, but I can almost guarantee there's kickbacks. He made money from those vaccines somehow.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, I don't know. If you sit and listen to those stupid diary entries, he may have just strictly done it out of vanity so that he was the hero.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the hero. He wanted the world to admire him and how wonderful he is. And he talked about all these little parties he went to, and like this dude was living it up during COVID while everybody else was like, this sucks,
Yeah.
People weren't going to church. People weren't, kids weren't going to school. There was kids whose junior and senior years were destroyed. Education was massively affected because, you had kindergarten, first, second, third graders who were not learning to read because they weren't in an educational environment. The homeschoolers were all like, nothing new here, but everybody, but not every family is equipped or was ready to jump into homeschooling.
Well,
the online barely it didn't work because not all the schools were set and ready and ramped up and had all the software and the knowledge how to run an online school.
Well, not only that, but for a lot of children in this country, school is their safe place.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who grow up in households that are not safe.
Yeah.
And school was an escape. It was a place to get safe and be around friends, people who care.
Yeah. That entire event affected, decades of our future. And this man will walk away rich and scot-free. And it's disgusting because justice will not be done.
And that was the part when you're talking about the vaccines. It all does go back to him making money because of the gain of function research. Because all of the vaccines had to come from his gain of function research. So he made all of that. He got rich. We need to take it all and go put him on Mars.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. And you got to, of course, think of this in a biblical manner and think, all justice will be done in the end. I pray the man know Jesus. I pray he be saved and God atone for his sins. But justice will be done one way or another in the end. But I go, it for us, I think the most disturbing fact is not that this one man will get away from it, but it perpetuates an environment where people, one, don't trust the government anymore. They don't have any trust whatsoever. The fact that, people coming up behind him go, well, he got away with it, so I can get away with this.
Yeah.
You talked about the gain of function. Rand Paul brought out like a whole litany of quotes from doctors about how there's no good reason for us to be creating super viruses like this. There's nothing to be gained. They claim that, well, it's, so that if this happens, we could be ready, but it won't, it
wouldn't have started unnatural. If you didn't create it.
Yeah. It's unnatural. You're creating something deadly, so that you can study something just in case it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up to me. The only thing I can think of it is it's for weaponry.
Oh yeah. And
that's
we can thank USAID for that.
Yeah.
It's
I'm just, so take heart. I don't want to end the show on a negative note, right? Justice will be done eventually, but I look at the situation and I go, this is another one of those points in as I look at it and go, a mind shift has to change. We have a government that completely shirks God's law, ignores it, and it serves another God.
Mm-hmm.
It serves the will of the people, and it serves the will of those with power. And there are always going to be evil people in the world, and the hope is that as we move forward, people start thinking in a more Christian mindset. I'll point this right back to something you're probably going to hear me say for the next few months constantly is we have to go out and find candidates and vote for candidates that most reflect our moral stance, right? A lot of people talk about, well, we don't vote on morals, we vote on policy, and you can't legislate morality. I'm like, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Everything you legislate is a moral issue. And if we put people into office, if we allow people to rise to power like Fauci, who have no moral compass, or a twisted, backwards moral compass, as this man has had, this is the result of it. And so, this is a call, not just to go vote for the right people, but then to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
And the people trying to hold our elected representatives to account. I love what these guys in the Senate were doing. If nothing else, they're just revealing the corruption.
Yeah.
They're revealing to us, this is what this leftist progressive mindset creates.
Mm-hmm.
And we've let it happen, and it's got to be stopped.
And we've gotten it now. It's on record. It's in public. It's documented. It's no longer I heard there were some papers. No.
Here they are.
They're here.
Print them, put them out. You can go look at them right now online. That's the thing.
With the COVID thing, I was most thankful that the doctors wouldn't allow me to get the vaccine because they were worried about, they already spent $968,000 to fix me once.
Yeah, we don't need any more weird DNA. Yeah. All right, Artesia, thanks for joining us today. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow for Gene, and I'll be back next week. God bless.
Hey, Roswell, time is running out to cash in on some of the biggest savings of the season. The loan and lease termination sales event is happening right now at Roswell Ford. Drive away with a truckload of savings in a brand new Ford F-Series pickup with financing as low as 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to get you out of your trade, even if you owe up to $10,000 more than it's worth. Have less than perfect credit? Roswell Ford works with a network of aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Get on board at Roswell Ford during our loan and lease termination event and get huge savings on all new F-Series trucks, America's top-selling pickup in each of the past 49 years. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand. Finance on F-150 trucks. Excludes Raptor. Interest accrues from date of sale. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Jennifer here at Trustmark Roofing and Windows. And did you know that we get a bunch of service calls per year from people who didn't even hire us? That means they originally hired someone else to replace their roof, windows, or gutters. Then later, when a problem popped up, they tried to call their contractor back to help, only to find out that the contractor has ceased to exist. They're gone, done, out of state, out of business. At Trustmark Roofing and Windows, we have serviced southeastern New Mexico for 20 years. As a second-generation contractor, we have serviced our area through many major hail and windstorms. We have customers who are the kids of customers that we've serviced many years ago. We will be here when you need us, period. For roofing, gutters, or windows, visit trustmarkroofing.org or call Trustmark Roofing and Windows 575-755-ROOF. That's 575-755-7663.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
At our credit union, we take a team approach to finances. You see, unlike other financial institutions, here you're a member owner, not a customer. And because we're not for profit, we usually have better rates and fewer service charges. Call or come by to check out the Credit Union Advantage. Artesia Credit Union, member NCUA. There is a difference.
You thought it was loving to do this. Want to come back to my place? Which resulted in this. What is loving is paying your child support. To support them. Do the loving thing and pay your child support today.
Payment processed. Payment received.
Contact the Child Support Services Division and meet your monthly obligation for your children. Visit yes.nm.gov or call 1-800-283-4465. Brought to you by the HCA, the NMBA, and this station.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
News this hour at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The economy showed clear signs of resilience in the second quarter, even as overall growth slowed, according to new government data out this morning.
The Commerce Department reported that gross domestic product expanded at a 1.5% annual pace from April through June, a deceleration from the 2.1% rate in the first quarter of 2026. The figure also came in below what many economists expected. Imports were a major drag on growth, reflecting heavier demand for goods sourced from abroad. Yet the core driver behind the economy's continued momentum was consumer spending. Americans increased spending at a 3.2% annual clip, rising sharply from the just 0.5% earlier in the year. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
President Trump said yesterday the U.S. would hit Iran very hard after its most recent attack on U.S. targets in the region.
We're hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. You know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it, but they tried shooting it last night. So we had 5 rockets shot going 8,500 miles an hour, and all 5 rockets were knocked down to the ground. But they nevertheless took a shot, so it's our turn.
Things looking up on Wall Street after big losses yesterday. The Dow was up by 346 points at this hour. Tens of thousands of French wildfire evacuees now being allowed to return to their homes.
French authorities are allowing 84,000 evacuees from a massive wildfire in southwestern France to return home. While firefighters remain fully mobilized, the announcement on Thursday marks a positive turn in the battle against the